What's up, people? It's your boy, Puerto Rock 77, live in effect, bringing you that 60 frames no lag podcast. Thank you very much for attending. I apologize for the little late start. We were having some technical issues, so I'm trying to make sure, we bring our best A game for you audience, because I know you guys put in your time, and I appreciate the time you spend to watch this video, so I appreciate that. But anyway, I got my panel as normal, and I also got a special guest. More people hopefully will join the podcast as we talk along, but life happens, crazy things. LA traffic, people signing contracts with movie stars, working with Brad Pitt. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just doing some crazy shit, but I can't fault them for that. You know what I'm saying? That's just how life is. But of course, got some great topics. And of course, I want to get into, the people who are here. All right. And I'm going to start off with, of course, my homegirl, the Titanfall Princess.
What's up, everybody? It's Titanfall Princess. I hope you enjoy the show, and it's good to be back.
Awesome, girl. You know what I'm saying? I missed you last week. I know what I'm saying? Missed you on the podcast here, and I missed your podcast. I'm like, damn, a week without Princess? That shit didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad you're back. How's it, How was your week going so far?
Everything's going well. Thank you. Okay,
awesome. All right. And then also got a new guest here, first time on the show. But I'm glad he's here. We always talking bullshit on Twitter. We did a podcast with Iron Wolf on the PlayStation at one point, and now I got him on this show here. So give a little shout out to my man Kratos, aka J-Dub City, right?
That's it.
Hell yeah, shout yourself out, brother.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy J-Dub, Kratos, the son of Olympus. Glad to be here. Let's get it rocking.
My man said the son of Olympus. All right, gentlemen, I'm supposed to have some other guests. Whatchamacallit? If they show up, they show up. Like I said, it is what it is. Hopefully they do show up, and I will appreciate their input. But we're going to keep on going, all right? Got a great show, and so we're going to get into our first topic, all right? So the first topic of our show is obviously Horizon Zero Dawn. That's what I'm saying. Critical reception. People are talking about how this is obviously PlayStation's new hit franchise. What do you guys think? Titanfall Princess, what do you think about this? What do you think about the whole Horizon Zero Dawn? Did you expect it? Is this new Guerrilla Games?
I thought it was going to do well.
All right.
I like the game. Okay. So, I personally expected it to do well. And I can't say much about it for those who haven't even played it yet. I don't want to spoil anything, but I like the game. I think it's a great game. I think it's going to do well. Possibly could be a new franchise for them, which would be nice.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Oh, of course you are. Of course you are. You're a gamer. You get everything. That was a stupid man. You know what? That's my dumb ass for asking that question. I should have known that. I apologize. Yo, J-Dub, what you think about this? What you think about this the critical reception of as I said, Killzone, a critical reception of Horizon, and it's coming from Guerrilla. What did you think?
Well, when we first saw it unveiled as a trailer, we knew there was something special about it. We saw the graphics. We knew it was a totally different design from anything that Sony tried before, and the fact that Guerrilla Games was behind it kind of gave us, a sense of, okay, well, we're working with something. So it wasn't an unknown developer. It wasn't, some developer that flopped or something like that. So, I'm not surprised. I got the collector's edition coming, so I'm ready to play that bad boy. I'm kind of jealous that there's guys that are playing it right now and beating it, and a couple of haters are spoiling it for some people, but it's all good.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit crazy. I'm gonna be honest. I'll be real with this. When I saw Horizon Zero Dawn, I was like, man, this game does look beautiful. We saw it at the E3 trailer and all that stuff. My main concern was its critical reception. You know what I'm saying? Because this is Guerrilla when it comes to Killzone. Like for instance, let's talk about Killzone. My favorite Killzone was Killzone 2. Mm-hmm. I think that was probably the best game they created, right? Then when they did 3 and Shadowfall, I was like, oh man, these guys are bugging. Beautiful looking games.
Yeah.
But gameplay wise, I was like, oh man, they didn't stay true to what Killzone was. They went for this Call of Duty route, in my opinion. It was too cool.
Well, that's true. That's true. When you think about the Killzone series, they've always, been cutting edge on graphics and stuff like that. It's just, it never had a central character that kind of grabbed your attention and said, okay, this is what the Killzone series is about. You know, it didn't have a main character that stayed steady through it. So those games became, you know, kind of lackluster in the story. And I think that's why Guerrilla Games ended up hiring some, you know, professional writers and you know, award-winning actors to kind of help bring that story to life. And I mean, you look at it, man, straight 10s down the road.
Yeah, you know, and that was the key. I think that was the smartest thing, you know, Guerrilla did, was hire developers that did The Witcher so they could get the game RPG aspect right. Exactly. The writer from Alpha Protocol and Fallout New Vegas to get the story right. And I think Guerrilla realized, hey, we can't write a story for shit. Mm-hmm. And this ain't our niche, you know, this ain't our genre, so we need some professional help. And I think that was a good move. What I like about this is, go ahead, Princess.
No, I was going to agree with you. You know, at least they realized before they put something else out that might have flopped. They realized they needed some additional help, and they went and got it, which I think is a good thing. Yeah,
I think that's a good thing. You know, they got the right people they realized where they screwed up, and I think they listened to the fans. They listened to the criticism. You know, and I don't think they tried to force. Oh shit, that's Craig Harris. Yo, Craig, you know what I'm saying? If you're around, go look in your damn inbox. The link is there, you punk. God damn it, Craig. Top flight security of the world, Craig. Right? Get your ass. You're late. I'm just kidding. But anyway, but what's good about it is this is what I like. This is beyond Sony. This is something I want Nintendo and Microsoft to understand. Right? Sony took a chance on Guerrilla to do something out of the box, something that's nowhere near their cup of tea, let's say. Allow them to get the personnel and the right people they needed to improve on their studio and make it happen. And it's paying off. It is paying off. And I hope this game financially is a huge success. It sounds like it, because there's like what you call them, you know, like MPD type groups. Not MPD specifically, but they're already projecting that this game might sell 6 million.
6 to 8 million. 6 to 8 million.
I'm not saying it will or not, but even if this game sells 3 to 4 million, that is amazing for a new IP, especially this gen, when new IPs haven't been off the fucking charts in terms of sales. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's really hard.
But you know it's going to sell well when you got Xbox people trying to damage control for it already.
Oh, man. Boy, you watch it.
And crying.
Yo, dudes trying to spoil the game. They're making up shit. Yo, it got to the point they're even crying about the Pro. It only runs at 30 frames when there's already announced that a day one patch will bump it up to 60. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You notice how they don't even bring up the Pro version, right? They don't even bring up the 4K, the checkerboard version of it. They I don't know, man. It's big time damage control, but it is what it is. You can't stop greatness.
You know, at this point, I'm already
funny.
No, go ahead.
Funny though. It comes out. Excuse me, for PlayStation, and they know it's going to sell well. They try to do all this damage control, start whining and crying and trying to knock the game down before it's even out.
You know, so you know what I'm saying? At this point, I'm gonna be honest. Console war is starting not to get fun no more. Because usually I like. You know, I'll be honest. I enjoyed last gen's console war because the Xbox was on the high mountain, you know, and us PlayStation gamers were on the bottom, so it was fun fighting against them, you know, because they had the advantage. Now it's like beating on a fucking baby. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god,
it's not fun. It's not fun. They make up shit. It's like, dude, we're not even having rational conversations anymore.
Exactly.
Like, it's just they just coming up with dumb shit, and I'm like, man, this console war is just boring, bro. It's like, you know, it's just not this. It's just not fun. You know what I mean? It's like playing a fighter versus a person who don't play fighters. It's like, what's the fucking point then? I don't want to play a fighter with you. I want to play somebody. I'd rather play with somebody that will whoop my ass like Titanfall Princess in Street Fighter than to play a guy I just fucking get perfect. It's just not fun. I need competition. I need something to strive for. And it's just not happening this gen. And it's just like this console war is getting boring. It needs to start over. We need a reset.
It's true.
Exactly.
Hit the reset button.
Yo, Craig, you ready? I see you in.
What's up, man?
My man, top flight security of the world, Craig. Damn, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm about to cut your salary. You know what I'm saying? Show up late one more time. I'm just kidding. I'm playing, man. All right.
I didn't see the invite in the box, but I appreciate the invite. And Princess, I'm glad you're feeling better. And Jay, always a pleasure.
All right. So we're gonna get your point of view. So the topic: Horizon Zero Dawn's critical reception. What did you think about it? Did you expect it? Did you have worries? Let me know.
As far as what the game looked like visually, I did not worry. As far as the actual story, because Guerrilla has not told some of the best stories. So I know they went out and hired the same people who did the story for Fallout New Vegas. I think they got 2 or 3 of those folks to come in, and and I was worried about the gameplay. To me it looked similar to Tomb Raider, but from the 2 people I just talked to today, they said physically it behaves a lot differently than Tomb Raider. So that was my only worry. But as far as the reception is concerned, I'm excited about it now. I just went and pre-ordered it today. I didn't have it pre-ordered, and I just went out today and did it. So I'm excited about it.
Awesome. That's pretty nice. That's pretty good. What I was saying is one thing I liked is how Sony let Guerrilla take a chance, and they didn't half-ass it. Guerrilla went all out. You know, they got a new engine, so they're not using the same engine as the Killzone Shadowfall. They got the right people. They went with The Witcher to help the RPG development access, and they also got the writer from New Vegas. So what you guys think about that? What you think about that? Because I heard everybody else's.
Oh, well, I mean, again, that was my whole thing when I did my research on it. I was afraid, and again, there was nothing wrong with Rise of the Tomb Raider. I really enjoyed that game. What I'm excited more is that it's being more compared to Witcher, which I really did like. So they did their research. I like the fact that Sony allowed them to do what they did. They got out of their way. It just kind of shows you and also I think this is the first party game that's built for the pro. I just heard you guys talking about the 1080. I don't know if it's going to be a 4K 30 patch or a 1080p 60 patch for the pro,
1080p 60. Well, hopefully.
Okay, so I'm excited about that. As long as that patch works better than this Final Fantasy patch, for that patch is bad. They're going to have to patch the patch. So, but yeah, so I'm excited about it. And like I broke on my little podcast last night. You'll actually be able to go and pick the game up at like 9:00 Monday night instead of having to wait till midnight. The game came in early, so it's got all the stuff on it that it needs. So you can go pick it up at GameStop. I know at 9:00. So
you brought up a good segment. Is how this game is more tuned for pro and stuff like that, and I think that's what we're gonna see in the future. You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody expected the bells and whistles from day one on the pro, and that's just not how console gaming works. A console never shows its best day one. Exactly. People should know by now. Every console grows and gets better because of optimization. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
You never get day one performance out of the best. Never. Yep. No console will ever do that. Not even the Scorpio. You're not gonna get the very best out of Scorpio day one.
Yeah.
Games will mature, engines will be better, optimization will improve. I mean, what you see at a launch, then you compare it to a game 3 years later, is going to look much better. The developers will find more and more out of the console.
Well,
and I think people forget about that.
Well, if you notice, that's why Sony doesn't release its major franchises like Uncharted or Gran Turismo or something like that, at launch. And there's a reason behind that, not just because of the install base, because it takes time to get to know the hardware and to make sure that you squeeze 110% out of the performance of it.
Yeah.
So that's a big reason why, the Gran Turismo sport has kind of been held off to take full advantage of the pro. And, again, just wait for the Uncharted DLC game to come out. And, that's going to enhance it even more over what Uncharted 4 was, which was by all means probably the best game graphically ever released for a console.
Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. All right. Yeah. So anybody else got any parting shots for Horizon Zero Dawn before we move on? Nope. All right. So the next topic, Gravity Rush 2, right? Mm-hmm. Right now it's projected that it only sold 148K worldwide. Now I'm not here to say that makes the game bad or good, but what do you guys think went wrong with the game? Considering from what I heard, Gravity Rush on the Vita sold like 2 million units.
Yeah.
What do you think went wrong with Gravity Rush 2 only selling around 200K on the PS4? Anybody has opinions on that?
I have no idea. I mean, I just think that people just weren't interested.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of why it sold so bad.
Yeah. How about anybody else? I think advertising is always the biggest factor. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that too.
So that's one thing. I don't see a lot of advertising. I mean, I knew it was coming out, but again, we're the hardcore. We know everything. You know, we know when fucking Yoshida's fucking sneezing and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we know. We pretty much, you know, Yoshida says some dumb shit or some great shit, we know. Phil Spencer says some crazy shit or smart shit, we know. Mm-hmm. We know everything. Yeah. We know every detail of everything. But the average gamer, you know, the gamers that actually brings the sales for these games, there's no way for them to know about Gravity Rush 2.
Exactly.
So I know advertising is a big factor, but what else? You know, because that's a huge disparity. Whatchamacallit, from going from 2 million on a Vita to like a low sell. And I know some people in the comments box are saying VG numbers make their stuff up.
Yeah.
But VG numbers usually not that bad. I've already seen VG say this game only sold 100K, and then the next day we sold 3 million worldwide. It's not that, you know what I'm saying? It's not. Yeah. They're not perfect, but they're not that wrong.
Yeah.
They're not that. You know what I'm saying?
But even if it sold 3, you know, it's still not a lot.
Yeah. Even if it sold 400K, it's still not a lot.
Keep in mind, and I'm not damage control, but just keep in mind that number is based on the first week sales. Mm-hmm. So what did we have coming out right after that? We had Neo. I mean, we had some big games coming out right after that. So there's a lot of people that kind of hold their $60 in their pocket and wait for something that they already really anticipated. So this game was, 148 in a week.
But worldwide?
What the true? I mean, while that's true, I still think it was kind of a luck of the draw. You when people know Neo's coming out, when people know Kingdom Hearts, when people know Yakuza 0 coming out. Yeah. Think about it. That's 3 other games right there, and you have $60 in your pocket or $120 in your pocket. Gravity Rush, is probably gonna be the last one you pick up because you know the other franchises and you've been anticipating those.
Okay.
So I kind of give it some slack on that. Now, if Sony didn't have any other thing dropping that week or around that time frame, I'd say that's pretty bad. But I mean, come on, that's just like Sony releasing another smaller title on the same day as Horizon Zero Dawn. Come on, why would you do that? You know, people are gonna take their $60 and go for the bigger game and not the smaller one.
Right. So you think Sony should have? Because I don't know. Do you think Sony should have pushed Gravity Rush for a May release? Because I don't know if they come out with anything in May.
Well, yeah, I think they should take the smaller titles that not well known and it's not really going to grab the attention and stick them in those soft months where they don't have much releasing. Okay. They could have stuck it in March, even though we have the Mass Effect coming out, but we have MLB. Stick it in one of those weeks opposite of MLB, and it'll gain more attention versus, hey, we got all these big games coming out, and I'm be like, nah, I'm gonna just save my money and wait next week and get the big stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what Jay said. I mean, you've got to market it. One thing I will say about Horizon is that it seems like every time you go online, there's a commercial with Horizon on it. So they've done a great job marketing. I would have pushed the game, and I've said this about Nier Automata too, as well. They should have pushed Nier Automata till May. I just, now you got it coming out 1 week after Horizon and a day or two after the Switch. So, and that's a good game. It's going to get cannibalized because of that. It's just, but as far as Gravity Rush 1, I've got Gravity Rush, and I think the game is okay. It just wasn't marketed very well in the West. And if it's only sold 150,000, then I would say people need to go buy it because it'll probably be the last game unless they do some kind of spin-off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's one thing. Yeah, I think it probably won't be the last game unless it has a slow trickle, long-term sales and stuff.
It could be a slow
thing I could think of.
And understand Yakuza, at least overseas, Yakuza, that's an established franchise.
Exactly.
we're just now getting that. So
exactly.
And it's not. And Gravity Rush was, like I said, it was an okay game. It is fun, but you have a heroine that nobody knows about.
Mm-hmm.
You have it. It was a Vita game. Did Gravity Rush ever go to the PlayStation 3 even? The original one, or was it just a straight Vita game?
No,
okay.
They just did a remaster. They did a remaster.
Yeah, it's just like they didn't. I mean, I know there was a God of War game as well that was on Vita, right?
Yeah,
I think, and it didn't sell. It did okay, but I just feel that this is on Sony as well. I'm not going to let nobody off the hook here. Mm-hmm. They should have marketed that game a lot better, but when they saw the tea leaves, they could have pushed it. But maybe they just they did say in Sony's defense, they did say that they will release 10 of these games and maybe only 3 of them do well, but they'll keep making them. So this may be one of those 7 that didn't do well. So
I mean, look at Knack. I mean, that's a prime example. I don't think that game did what it was probably expected to do, but at the same time, Sony didn't give up. They say, guess what? We'll give you a part 2. Keep trying until you get it, and sometimes that's the best way to do it.
Guys, just so you know, there's somebody in the chat trying to compare Recore from last year to Gravity Rush this year.
Yeah, they always try to do some crazy stuff. I mean, come on now. They're always going to take... I heard somebody trying to compare that game to Forza Horizon 3, and it's like, how did you make that comparison? That's a racing game, or arcade racing, to some other game. Again, I go back to my point where... When you have a shitload of games dropping right around the corner and right in front and right around, of course the smaller title is going to be cannibalized. I mean, we need to face the fact on both sides of the aisle, Sony and Xbox. Not every single game is going to do 3, 4, 5, 10 million, copies.
Exactly.
That's just facts. Sometimes, maybe Sony's benchmark for a certain game, 500,000. Maybe the developer's like, look, we only put 1 million, 2 million in this game. If we can get that amount of money back out of it, will be fine. Yeah. So we just don't know. With that kind of development, do you really think they spent 4 or 5 years into that game?
No,
I don't. I think they may spent a year and a half. Smaller type budget. I mean, look at the advertising. Like you said, they didn't advertise it at all. The only advertisement I seen of it was on the PlayStation Store. When you went to the store, it was a little small picture there. Hey, pick this up. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is, too? Maybe, like you said, because some of the bigger titles launched, it maybe started out bad, but maybe in those months where there's a lull, people will start picking it up then.
Exactly.
So maybe the sales will increase at that time when there's not as much going on in a particular month or 2 weeks or whatever. And somebody
and
has
the game is the game is $60, right?
Yeah,
it's a full cost game. So
how much was I don't want to compare Vita and PS4, but I just the mindset. The Vita version was what, 30?
It was 30. Yeah, 39. It was 39.
Could it be people just see the game as a $30 franchise, even though it's on the PS4? You think the perception?
Yeah, definitely. I would.
Price have impacted it. Like, I'm not paying $60 for Gravity Rush 2. This is a Vita game.
Look,
even though the perception might be false because it's a counter budget, but people might just have that perception because of where the game is from. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? That could be a good point. Maybe it might do better when they drop the price.
Exactly. If they would have brought it out at $39, I think it would have did a lot better. But it's hard to spend $60 with and then 65 with tax on a game when Neo is coming out, when Yakuza's coming out, when Kingdom Hearts is coming out, days apart from it. So I mean, if it would have been a $40 title, yeah, I think a lot of people would have picked it up, but it's hard to drop that 60, man.
That's a good point about Kingdom Hearts. I forgot all about that. I mean, seriously, that did come out right around the same time. I know they dropped like games back to back to back. It felt like.
Yeah,
and you knew somebody. It's like you knew somebody was going to get the short end of the stick, and it was Gravity Rush. I agree that it should have been $39.99. If not, then they should have pushed it. Because it's just because Kingdom Hearts. Everybody knows what that game is. If you've never played it, it's got that name recognition. But unfortunately, I just think Sony again. I put the blame on them too. They just did not put a whole lot of foot to ass on that game for whatever reason.
Yeah, Resident Evil. I forgot about Resident Evil 7 too. Came out same time.
Yeah,
Resident Evil. Yeah,
good point.
Yeah, so the Gravity Rush was the least common denominator. Something had to go, and that went. So no big deal.
Yeah, it's unfortunate though. It's because it's fun to play.
Yeah.
You know how they manipulate the screen and stuff like that. That was interesting. But I agree. It's unfortunate, but it looks like RIP for this one.
Yeah. Well, one thing we know about Sony though, we can never say it won't be another game like that or that part 3, because I mean these guys they don't give up, and that's the thing about it, man. It's like, hey, let's try again.
Yep, that's true.
I mean, these guys took 10. How many times was The Last Guardian supposedly canceled? I mean, it took what 10 years, 8 years, 10 years for that game to come out in 2 generations, and they finally released that game, and so that shows you the will of Sony to, they still work at it. Yeah, they still work at it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, that's a good point. Yeah, so thank you for those perspective on that one. All right, so next topic, Crash Bandicoot. All right, so apparently, PlayStation Ireland corrected a retweet. People were asking if Crash Bandicoot was going to be exclusive to PS4, and PlayStation Ireland stated that yes, but then they came out and said, correction, it's going to come out first on PlayStation 4. So that pretty much means it's going to come out on other platforms. One way or another. Chances are, and it's an Activision game. It belongs to Activision. Yeah. So it's obvious what's going to happen. All right. Now here's my question: is there that much of a big deal? Is it a huge blow to PlayStation 4, or do you see this is it a good thing? There's potential that Crash Bandicoot will get better sales, and we might actually get a bona fide Crash Bandicoot developed game this gen. What do you guys think? Who wants to hit that off first? Who wants to chime in on that?
I'll take it over. Actually, I'm actually pretty happy that it's a multi-plat game, because you got to think about it. The Nintendo Switch is about to drop, man, and I can't wait to get my hands on that thing. In that game, a Crash Bandicoot remaster or remake, or however you want to spin it, put that on the Switch, man, and I'll buy it. Even at $50, I'll buy it.
You know why? You're not the only person. Like, multiple people have said that they would love to see that on the Switch.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. What about everybody else?
You got to realize too, though, that the other Crash Bandicoots were multi-plat. You got to realize 6th gen, they had the one on PlayStation 2 and GameCube.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There was one on the 360.
Yeah.
I mean, so it was multi-plat anyway. So if anybody gets crazy over this, then you should have been crazy back then too when it was multi-plat.
Yeah.
I think it's because when people think of Crash Bandicoot, they go back to the PS1 days. Because they're younger. We were younger. And some people were like kids and stuff. So that's kind of like their Mario memory. You know what I mean?
That's true. It was back in the day when you had the Sony versus Nintendo. Crash used to be outside of Nintendo's studio talking about Mario and Luigi. Hey, where you at? Stuff like that. Those are the days we remember on the OG PS1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
don't
what I'm saying. If people get mad, it's only going to be the fanboys.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: you think if it's multi-plat, do you think the Xbox community is going to support it?
Nope.
Because I did.
I agree with him. You know why? Because what have they supported over with the Xbox One?
I don't.
Barely nothing.
These dudes are stubborn, man. They're not gonna buy that shit because it was tainted by Sony on PlayStation 1, so they don't want to touch it.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, not only that, they'll be happy to have it because again, this is a group of people that said, "quote It's a source of pride for us if we have something that Sony doesn't have." So they'll just look at it and say, "Well, we have it too. It's not just something that you guys can go get." So, but that you're right, Jay. That's the mentality that these guys are coming with. So and Princess is right. It's been on 2 to 3 other platforms. Hell, Crash Bandicoot was a game within Uncharted 4 that you could kind of play around on. So
exactly.
So the more people could play. I mean, I kept dying on that part anyway, so I didn't care. I'm like, what the hell is this thing doing? So,
exactly.
But yeah, I agree. If it's already been a multi-plat, they're going to come. They may come back, like Princess said, and just say, where were you at on the 5th and 6th generation when it was everywhere? I mean, it was everywhere. So,
well, I can't lie. When I was playing Uncharted 4 and that part came up, man, I was smiling ear to ear. It brought back so many memories. I was like, fucking Naughty Dog. They sure know how to put on a show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what I said? But you know what I said when I saw that in the game? I was like, it's coming. They're telling us right now it's coming.
Exactly.
They put it in the game. That was their way of telling us this game is coming. And we don't know when, but it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
They wouldn't put it in there.
I thought it was ingenious how they did it,
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Play a video game within a video game. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
That tripped me out. I was like, yo, how far we come when you could, like you say, you can play a video game within a video game and shit. I'm like, yo, this shit's wild, bro.
Yep.
I was like, and I was trying to play it too. I'm like, damn, I suck. Fucking the Uncharted game. The Uncharted game's easier to do this shit. I'm like, fuck. I could barely pass the first level. I'm like, yo, fucking games changed, bro. I'm like, man.
That's what I was, bro. I'm like, what the hell?
I remember I used to fucking breeze through Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got this shit. I died like on the first thing. I'm like, fuck.
I'm going to tell you something, though, guys. I can tell you one thing. When it comes out, and it does come out multi-plat, it's probably going to sell the best on PlayStation.
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt about that.
No doubt about that. The only platform that could give PlayStation a run for its money would be the Nintendo. Because
with the Switch, I was about to say it, and the Switch, people who buy the Switch, if it's on there, will probably buy it.
Listen.
As far as Xbox, I don't think those people will buy it.
When this goes multi-pack, if it ends up on the Switch, and the Switch sells more copies, oh man, that's just going to be a shot.
Yeah.
For these Xbox dudes.
But that game, I mean, think about it. That game is almost made for the Switch, to have in your hand, to be outside or to be mobile. I mean, that's a perfect game. That would set Nintendo exactly where they need to be when it comes to third party. Those games like that, not big juggernaut graphical games because of that.
Yeah, it would be nice if they get it. If it goes multi-plat, it would be nice if they get it.
That would be good and stuff like that,
I know Nintendo people would love it.
Oh yeah, because definitely Nintendo fans are a very big platformer fan base. The Marios and shit like that, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, shit like that. That's definitely their niche. That's definitely their ground and stuff like that. All right, so I don't think it's a big deal, but we'll see how it goes. I wish the best of luck to that game because hopefully we could get a proper. Are you guys getting it?
Yeah. Definitely. They won.
I'm gonna be honest, I ain't getting that shit.
but we understand though, Rock. We understand. I mean, we understand all these big. I mean, come on, think about it, man. We got all these goddamn games. I mean, we have. I think every PlayStation owner has a backlog of at least 5 games that they hadn't touched in the last month. So,
I'm gonna be honest, I ain't got time for remasters of any type. I think the only remaster that I would fucking buy day one would be Metal Gear Solid 1. If they fucking remade that shit, oh my god, I will drop any game. I would not even buy God of War or fucking the last
man, come on, you got it.
Man, I think he's gone a little too far with that now.
If Kojima said we're remaking Metal Gear Solid 1 from the ground up, oh man, I'll buy. If he said it's only coming out on the Pro, I will buy a Scorpio for that fucking.
You know what's funny? You know why he says he's not going to buy Crash Bandicoot? Because he couldn't play it on when he was playing Uncharted. That's why.
I became casual, bro. That's just I don't know. I lost my skill set. I'm getting too old and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
My joints hurt and shit like that. I need Metamucil and shit.
Damn.
All right. So, let's talk about another topic. Is a fake pony not buying Crash? Man, screw that shit. I ain't buying remasters.
He lying. He gonna get it.
All right. Next one is that shit's harder than Dark Souls, man. Fuck that shit.
Right.
Next game. All right. I don't know who's gonna talk about this. Hopefully somebody can. Halo Wars 2 is out. Who's gonna talk about it?
I will.
All right. Okay, go ahead, Craig. My man. Save the day.
Disappointing in a sense that it It is a strategy game. Let me make that clear. But it's not. It's the second best RTS on the Xbox because it's not as good as XCOM. It's just not. Now, let me make this clear. The Halo lore, if you're into the backstory and all the other stuff going on in Halo, you will love this game because it fills in a lot of gaps. It advances a lot of narratives. But the game itself, all you have to do in any type of war is cut off the supply line. Yeah. An army that is not fed won't fight. That's still to this day. And that's all you do in Halo Wars. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of other minutia too, but I'm telling you, if you like the Halo lore, I'm talking about the story. I like it's
universe.
They're trying to make it like Star Wars. They're giving you all this lore, all this background, all these different planets. Yeah. They're trying to make it like that. So if you can get yourself caught up in that, you'll love it. But it's disappointing as far as the actual game. Now, I will give Microsoft credit. They are marketing this game with the person being on the airplane. They're talking to each other. Then at the car lot. That's actually funny. But it's not tracking very well. And I'm of the mindset I give it 90 days. 90 days. And then I think it may hit 750,000, which is a far cry from the 3 million that the first one got.
For me, it's Halo stores. I'm sorry. They're gonna hype up this game, but they also did that with Quantum Broke too, and look what happened there. So hype it up all you want. See, that's what I'm saying. Microsoft puts out games, they hype up the wrong shit, they cancel the stuff that people really want.
Yeah, you're right.
Like scale down, come on. Let's, and you're going to hype up a game that nobody really is interested in. And like you said, if it sells 750,000, they'll be lucky.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, every time I move the screen to move my division, I'm asking myself, where's Fable?
Exactly.
Where's that? Yeah, exactly.
It's a good point.
Exactly.
Cancel the good stuff and they hype up the horrible stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Let me not even bring up Scalebound, bro. That's
not even the hardcore Xbox community is talking about it. They were in damage control. They rather damage control Horizon, a game that they're not going to get, instead of talking about a game they actually have. Okay. That's how whack that community has gotten.
Yes.
Anytime you're talking about AMD Ryzen chips and what it can do and why don't you talk about a game you actually do have? But they're so frustrating. Like I said, they make me itch. This is to a point where I itch every time I start hearing this. They're talking about AAA games and we have more AAA games, and it's like, so what? Your AAA games have led you to a 2-1 deficit against Sony. So hooray for your sorry ass.
Wow.
Facts.
Oh, shit.
No, it's the truth though. It's the truth though, and it's all they do is they damage control for something that's on another console. If you are such big fans of the Xbox and you are that hardcore Xbox person, why aren't you talking about the damn Xbox?
Well, hey, Princess,
and hyping up the game.
And check it out. They are rooting for the Switch, the Zelda on the Switch, to do better than Horizon. So the Switch, a console that they dogged out and they pissed all over, they're rooting for one of their games to be just as good or outsell Horizon. Also, they shit and piss all over Digital Foundry, but yet they are hoping Digital Foundry validates their little bitty Scorpion, which is going to use sparse rendering on 90% of its games.
Facts.
Now, their first party games will be in 4K, but these other studios that are out there are not good. That's too much money for them to use that much power. That's why the Pro is where it is, because they said we don't need that much power. Just give us this. And there's still 16 to 18 cores on the Pro that they haven't unlocked yet.
Yep. That's true.
And it's a stupid community. You're talking about, I don't know what a Ryzen chip is. Here, I just know I can't play it.
Well, you got to think about it. They're taking the specs from the PC and they're trying to apply them to the
Right.
they're trying to apply them to the Scorpio. That's what they're doing. So, I mean, Microsoft started this by talking about the hardware. They gave you the memory bandwidth, they gave you this, they gave you that, but they didn't tell you what kind of CPU that they were going to use. Until Digital Foundry finally leaked that they're going to use the same damn CPU that they had in the same Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. And we'll see, man. I mean, we'll see. I hope Scorpio will be successful, but my right mind and my common sense tell me that without games, it doesn't matter what you have, man. If you take a PC, you can take a most powerful PC, and if you don't have the, and I hate to say it, but multiplayer is not going to get you where you need to be because people, you have to give people the reason to upgrade from the current system that they have to the new, and if you haven't given them a reason, they're not going to buy. I mean, it's kind of the same thing for Sony. Most people with the OG PS4, the PlayStation 4 Slim, until they get a 4K TV, they figure that there's not really a big reason to upgrade to the Pro, and they kind of have they kind of have it right. So they're just going to stick with what they have because think about it, the PlayStation 4 OG model is still kicking ass. It's still selling like hotcakes. It's still, so it's like, these guys, I can still play the same games. It's still going to look really good. So, it is what it is. And I just don't see Scorpio doing that.
The luckiest person is
I agree
Porter
with you
Robert.
on one thing you said, though. You can have all the power and you can have everything you want in a console. But I've been saying it for a long time. No games, what are you going to do with it?
Well, at least they got a 4K Blu-ray player, right?
Well, that's
The Xbox One is.
Yeah, I was being funny. I was being funny.
No, but it's true because half the time, look up people on Xbox. You got an Xbox, look up the people that are on there. See where they're at all the time.
Yeah.
Or what was it,
Netflix.
Netflix or something like that, or Hulu, or that's where they're at.
Yeah.
They're not playing games.
Well, yeah, I mean it's disappointing, but Porter Rock is the big winner here because, like he said, he's going to get that Xbox. And let me tell you this, Porter Rock, when the Scorpion comes out, you'll be able to get an Xbox One S, probably the 2 terabyte one for like $150 because they're all going to run out and trade their shit in.
Yep.
I mean,
That's
you know, so
I ain't buying no Scorpion. Fuck no, I'm not going to invest that much money for just exclusive, because that's really what's going to be. I'm not going to play the multi-plats on the Xbox platform because I like my ecosystem. I like my friends list. It's already established.
Yeah.
I like my trophy count. You know what I'm saying? I'm already, and most of the big multi-plats,
Yeah.
they're being marketed by Sony. So that's going to be the go-to game for extra content, timed or exclusive content. So I'm not going to pay $60 to get less. You know what I'm saying?
True.
It just doesn't make sense,
Well, let me say this. C Trigger, he said there's a bad comparison at the beginning of this generation. PlayStation's entire Call of Fame was that multiplats played better on PS4, and that's true. But you have to think about this. That was 3 years ago. Okay, we've moved past the bickering, arguing that we did then. You got to think about it. I don't think there's a multiplat right now that can compete with Spider-Man coming up, God of War, Days Gone. I mean, all the big juggernaut Sony exclusives. I really don't see a third-party game that can kind of compete with those.
I want to go beyond that. I want to go beyond that with C Trigger, all right? Because everybody acts like it was just that one thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, no one wants to remember Microsoft's unveiling of a gaming console, yet they talk nothing about gaming.
Yep.
Apparently that didn't happen. I guess nobody saw the unveiling of Xbox One, and all they talk about was how you connect it to a cable box and how it's going to make your TV, watching TV better.
Yeah.
And then how it's watching sports and tracking fantasy sports score is going to be so much better on Xbox, and how Xbox is going to be great for Skype and all this shit.
Yeah.
Apparently that never happened. Nobody remembers the $500 price tag simply because you had to have Kinect with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then when people ask why you have it, because they didn't release not one freaking game to support Kinect.
Yep.
So what are you doing with Kinect? Can't even play a game on it, but you have to pay $500. Right? Apparently, no one remembers that.
Yeah.
No one also remembers that the day Microsoft announced that Xbox was going to be always online, always DRM console, Sony within hours, because Sony was going to do the same shit with the PS4, but within hours they saw the reaction, they never announced it. They took it off the table, right?
Yep.
Because they were smart enough to see the instant reaction and the backlash Microsoft had. Obviously, Microsoft didn't see the backlash within the first hours because not only did they keep pushing the narrative, they actually damage controlled it and even insulted the fan base by saying, Matrix said, you don't want a 24-hour Xbox? We got an Xbox for that. It's called the 360. Yep. It wasn't until weeks later, before the launch, that Microsoft finally decided not to go down that route. When Sony noticed it,
for a while, you were right.
Yeah, it took weeks for Microsoft to finally realize we don't want it. Stop it. And Microsoft realized maybe like 2-3 weeks before launch, okay, fine, we're not going to do the 24 hours online. We're going to just do something different. Sony noticed that shit within hours. Mm-hmm. That shit was a stupid idea, and they just completely cut it. It took Microsoft weeks. I mean, all throughout the summer, because E3 was in June, July, August, damage controlling. The shit nobody wanted. And what was their reply? Well, fucking get a 360 then. Are you fucking kidding me?
Exactly.
You actually, and like me, that didn't hurt my feelings because I knew once I saw the unveiling, I'm like, this shit's not gonna go well. I already knew. It would be
I went crazy when they started saying that shit. I was mad. I said, what the hell are you talking about always online? I gotta check in, I gotta do hell goddamn no, I'm not gonna do that shit.
Yeah, I already knew this shit wasn't gonna go well. So, when Matrix said that shit didn't affect me because I'm like, I'm a PlayStation dude anyway. So whatever. Yeah. But I don't have to get your console. But there was bona fide Xbox dude that felt, they got spit in their face because they already had a 360 and they had it for 8 years. So they were tired of it. And this is what you tell them. You tell them, oh, we got you don't want to always online console? Yeah, we got that. It's called 360. No, motherfucker. It's called the PS4. That was their reply. I see. They'd be like, that is 360.
Well, to be fair, remember last generation when the PS3 came out, wasn't it the Sony, I don't know if it was a VP or maybe it was the president that came out and said that the PlayStation 3 is such a great console that people are going to go out and
get another job. Yeah, you're right.
And if people said, no, I'm not, they got an Xbox.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You're right. That's right.
Great, you're going to get a second job. And the people are like, no, we're going to get a 360.
Exactly.
Exactly. And then one of the best things Xbox did back then was they created the bundle without the hard drive. So you could buy one for $299. And then buy the hard drive later on when you feel like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was fucking great. Some people, 400 was still a little bit too much. They'd be like, cool, get the $300 one. Here's a memory card because you're still used to memory cards. Because remember, we were coming from the PS2. So some people were still used to playing with memory cards. Mm-hmm. Cool. If the hard drive concept is a little bit too much for you, too expensive, get a $299 one. Here's a memory card. Do what you got to do and enjoy the games until you're ready to jump on a hard drive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People ain't going to fucking go for another company's bullshit.
Yep.
So when Matrix said, we have a 360 to that, the reply was like, no, we have a PS4 for that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to remember that. And then the biggest step was facing, this is what really pissed off people. So the few that did buy the console for $500, 6 months later, they took off Kinect and sold it for $350.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man,
that's the biggest. That's the biggest. That's the reason. That's the reason.
What was $399? Wasn't it? Was it $399 or did it go to $350?
It was 6 months later. 6 months later, it was
6 months later.
Yeah, it was $399, and then 6 months after that, they dropped the price to $349 because by then the damage was done. So you're talking about a whole year, and then by that time it was done. I mean, these guys stopped reporting NPD numbers. They started, talking about user engagement shit, all kind of crazy crap. But yeah, that's what it was. You're right. You're right, 100%.
That shit was crazy.
I remember all that stuff. But other people were damage controlling. Those fanboys seem to forget all those things.
So now, when you got all that bad shit, the DRM, the shitty ass unveiling, Matrix fucking insulting gamers, right? The cost is $500. And then all of a sudden you see the Eurogamer article, Call of Duty at 720p. That to me was just the last straw for some people. They were like, okay, we're done. It's just we're done. We're done with this Xbox shit. This shit, they clearly lost the plot, and then people just had a disdain. And when you get to that point where people have a disdain for your product, it's gonna take a huge killer app to fucking really reverse that fucking damage. And games like Rise, Sunset Overdrive, while they might be good games in their own right, they're just not that console seller to reverse all the bullshit that people saw when Xbox One launched. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't. They weren't big enough.
But that's also part of the problem, Rock, is every single game Xbox released, the fanboys marketed as the next system seller, the next big hit. This is gonna take Sony by storm. This is gonna get us back in the game. And so that's why so much hype get put into every single game. Like it's just gonna take one game to get them back into the game. And that next game just never did happen. Even with Gears. You had Gears Ultimate. It just never really did happen. And by then, people just moved on. And I think even right now, the Xbox with Forza Horizon 3 being a really good game, selling well, there is still, I don't think a lot of people think that there's a killer app that says I have to go out and buy a Xbox One S specifically for this game. But when you look on the Sony side of things, I mean, you got Uncharted 4. I mean, I can name numerous amount of, JRPGs. There's just a lot of genres and different things. And then you got the PSVR if you're into that. And, then if you're into 4K, you got the Pro. It's just a big variety of things that could potentially be a system seller or the reason why a person just have no choice but to buy a PlayStation 4. And you don't have that on the Xbox side of things. And to me, the ultimate thing that kind of killed it was totally giving up your exclusives to the PC. That in itself ruined a lot of Xbox fans because they were like, look, I've been sitting here struggling with these 720p games, these 792p games, and and Sony, the fans are laughing at us. And then you turn around and tell me you're gonna move Forza and Halo to PC and they can play it and I can play it in 4K. Well, you gave the PC fans more ammo to say, well, there is literally no reason for me to own an Xbox One. But they went ahead and traded in their Xbox Ones and got some PS4s because they wanted to get Uncharted, which will never come to PC. They wanted to, they see the big lineup with the God of War and all the other games. So that's kind of what you have. That's the dilemma that Microsoft is in. And so when they start the next generation, which I believe will be with Scorpio, either you're going to have to backtrack that and say, okay, nope, no more stuff going to the PC. We're going to go back to exclusives. We're going to start open back studios. Unless you do that, I just don't see it being a big seller because at this day and time, most people have some type of PC. It doesn't have to be a huge gaming rig, but even a mediocre PC can play a lot of the Xbox games.
I would say this, and when I say the exclusive on the PC, I'm not going to get into whether it's damaging the Xbox or not. Okay, well, I will say this because, of course, that's always going to be like the biggest argument. I will say this though, it is definitely not in the best interest of Xbox. Yeah. When Microsoft announced they're going to move, it could be the best interest of Microsoft, potentially a move to make more money. All right, I get that. I mean, I know a lot of people, Xbox dudes, trying to beat that in my head. I'm like, I'm not an idiot. I get what you're trying to say. I understand Microsoft is a company, a corporation, and they're going to go with their self-serving interests. What I'm trying to say is some of these decisions are not in the best interest of Xbox. All right, it's definitely not going to help. Putting your Xbox exclusives onto PC is not something that's going to make Xbox better. It's definitely not that. Whether it hurts it or not, it could go 50-50. But it's definitely not going to make it better. And this is, I think, some of the decisions I see Microsoft is doing is in the best interest of Microsoft, but with no concern with Xbox. Like, for example, again, Xbox exclusives going on PC to support Windows 10 Store. That supports Windows 10. They're using Xbox to make Windows 10 Store better. Exactly. But it doesn't make Xbox One itself better. You're actually
correct
away from it. Okay? Yeah. All right, that's number one. Number two, this Beam thing. Not providing YouTube streaming on Xbox, but using Beam streaming on Xbox, integrating with this application. Yeah. That makes Beam better. But that doesn't help Xbox. Beam doesn't help Xbox.
Yep.
YouTube
Right.
will help Xbox.
You're right.
Putting YouTube
Exactly.
streaming helps Xbox. That makes Xbox competitive and better. A lot of Xbox Pro gamers have YouTube channels. I'm pretty sure they would like to easily stream their games on their channel that they already have an established fan base and not try to advertise Beam so they could move their fan base over to Beam. So Beam is not in the best interest of Xbox. It's in the best interest of Microsoft because they want to challenge Twitch, but it's not in the best interest of Xbox. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. Microsoft is
because when you try to stream on Twitch, it lags all the time. It tells you to turn down the quality of your video, put up a shitty video for it not to lag.
Yeah. So
you want to compete with a place that just lags everything? That's corny.
you know.
Yeah.
So Microsoft to me is not making the best interest. Now look at it compared to Sony, what they're doing. For example, with Spider-Man, they use their movie studio to gain leverage to help PlayStation get the Spider-Man IP.
Exactly.
Because that's how they were able to get it. They got it because Marvel wanted a Spider-Man character for their cinematic universe, for Civil War and the upcoming Spider-Man Homecoming movie. You understand what I'm saying? So they made a deal with Sony because Sony owns the rights to make Spider-Man movies because they bought it from Marvel years ago. And it's like a lifetime deal.
Yeah.
So even though it's a Marvel character, the movie rights is owned by Sony. So Sony used that leverage saying, hey, if you want to use Spider-Man for all this stuff, give us the rights to make Spider-Man IP exclusive. Marvel's like, we don't give a fuck. Here you go. Take it. That's supporting PlayStation. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So they use their company, the strength of their company to support PlayStation. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody talks about how Microsoft has all this money. How the fuck are they doing it to support Xbox? I get they're making moves to expand their to cast a wide net. So that way Microsoft as a whole makes more money.
Yeah.
So at what point do they prioritize Xbox just a little bit over just the general theory of, I'm just trying to make gaming bigger on Microsoft overall? Pretty much don't treat Xbox as just another device in Microsoft.
Well,
give it
Xbox
some.
is like their stepchild.
Yeah, but
they don't care.
It's like it's just like another device out of devices everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I get Microsoft is a business, but clearly the strategy is not working. I mean, look at Windows 10 store. The shit can't even sell Call of Duty.
Exactly.
People refunded that shit. If you can't sell Call of Duty on your store, then what the hell are you gonna sell?
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, keep in mind how the Xbox even came about. It came about because Bill Gates and Microsoft, they wanted to make sure that there was a Windows device in every home. It was all about Windows. It's always been about Windows. It's not about gaming. It's not about any of that stuff because they lose money across the board with basically the Xbox division. It's the only division that's not profitable for Microsoft right now. So you got to look at it from that standpoint. These guys have did a lot of stuff, like someone just said, cable box. Well, these guys they created a media center device for you to plug in your cable box and have the split screen where when you're watching the NFL Network, it can do all kind of crazy stuff. But it didn't focus on the games because their plan was to put a Windows box in every single home, and that's basically they were successful with that, but at the detriment of the gamers. So now they left their gamers with a bunch of boxes that doesn't have much software, and I don't know. Hopefully, they can turn that around with Scorpio. I don't see how, but maybe they thought of a plan to make that work.
I hope so.
I just hope, I don't know. I just hope things get better. Because I'll be honest, I'm going to be real. You know what I'm saying? Our hobby, console gaming, is actually a fragile hobby. You look at any other product in the world, there's countless manufacturers. I mean, there's countless manufacturers who make kids tablets. Yep. Not tablets as a whole, just tablets specifically targeted to 5-year-old, 7-year-old kids. There's like dozens of manufacturers.
Yeah.
We got 3 manufacturers for our hobby.
True.
Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all we got. If any of them fails, that shit, a third of our industry is gone.
It's gone.
That shit's in, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want Microsoft to, I know I bullshit whatever, but we only got 3 manufacturers. It's not like the car industry.
We need, since there's only 3 of us, we need that competition to keep the other one, to keep giving the games that we're getting. Because if just say 2 of them died off, we only got 1.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
You can only game with me, so you're going to get what I give you now.
Well, and if you look at Nintendo, I mean, look at their strategy. They kind of gave up a long time ago. They said, look, this industry is kind of fickle. So what we're going to do is kind of tailor the gaming market to the kids and the nostalgia group, and that's our lane. That's what we're going to stay on. We'll leave Microsoft and Sony to do the high end stuff. So every time Nintendo releases a console, there's a bunch of gamers that all they say is, man, I hope Nintendo can get back in the game. I hope they can make a console that can compete with PlayStation. But it's like, do we really need 3 consoles that have similar specs and similar games? Do you really need that? Or do you need a console that gives you different experiences, different games, and stuff that you can't find anywhere else? I mean, to tell you the truth, Nintendo has that market, and they're the kings of it, and they'll stay that way. Sony has the high-end market, and they'll stay that way. Microsoft, they're still competing. I hope they decide to do something different with the Scorpio and that kind of carve out their own lane, because what they've tried so far, it hadn't worked this generation. I'm not saying I'm not going to be doom and gloom, because again, I've owned every single console, and I still support Microsoft. I as a PlayStation gamer still buy Xbox games more than a lot of these Xbox guys do. But
hold on, I gotta. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I got a fucking Allday showed up. That lazy bastard! I'm gonna cut your salary, motherfucker. Yo, after this, come into my damn office. You're gonna get a written counseling in this shit. You know what I'm saying?
You cool. You know I'm old school like peanut butter on a mousetrap, man. What's that?
That was good. Hey, give me your opinion. You know what I'm saying? You're the resident Xbox expert.
No.
You understand what I'm saying? Let me see. So Microsoft, all right, we know it's a corporation. They're there to make $1 first and foremost. So it's whatever the corporation benefits first.
Mm-hmm.
But little things like taking Xbox exclusive, moving over to PC. I'm not going to argue that if it hurts Xbox, but I think we both can agree it certainly doesn't help Xbox. It wasn't a move to make Xbox better.
Well, I mean, I always said this: if they're going to do this whole giving the gamer options or whatever, how about this? If you still want to do that, fine. Make it so where at least we get the first year and then put it on PC. Don't give it to them right off the bat.
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't give it to them right off the bat, because there's no fucking point of owning an Xbox at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I'm not going to go this over. I know I do that to cast shade on y'all, but in reality, like me, I'm not spending $600 on a PC. I'm gonna just get a $200 console.
Right.
Play the game. So I get it. I understand that there will always be reasons to get a console. But what I'm saying is these moves aren't in the best interest of Xbox. They may be in the best interest of Microsoft.
Microsoft's really distracted, man. We all know they deal with a lot of stuff. They do a lot of software things. You know what I mean? They and I feel like Xbox isn't the main concern. That's obvious. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We know that. But at a time where to me, they took Dreamcasts. They were the Dreamcast number 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right. You're right.
I always said that.
Yeah, look at the controller. Look at the controller. Look, the old remember the Dreamcast controller had the 2 memory cards, the VMU slots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Xbox had the same thing. That. I mean, they had all their games. They had Shenmue, Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio.
They had Dead or Alive. Like it was Dreamcast 2, basically.
Yeah.
You know. And right at that point in time, even though they were losing by PS2 and the GameCube or whatever at that time, they still they had to show and prove, and that's why they had all those fucking. They even had their own football, their own basketball, golf, every genre they had it covered, because they had to make a statement. You know, what I mean?
And even beyond JRPGs, look at the RPGs in general, because that's where I played Knights of the Republic 1 and 2. Jade Empire,
everything, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was like, yo, this console is dope. You know what I'm saying?
Hard drive. I think they got comfortable. Which most companies that are successful do, even though it might not be successful in the long run, but at least they were trying to compete. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right now, to me, the reason why I said this, and I say this all the time, the Xbox One S is just them getting comfortable and getting in their seat again, because they were losing so bad. Now they're kind of starting late with the Xbox One S. Good move, good console, but it's still late. You see what I'm saying? It's still late at the end of the day.
You think they're just prepping the battle for next gen?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like
that's what they're only trying to survive right now. Like the PS3 in a way. The shit that Sony did. Exactly. All they're trying to do is just try to survive.
They want that turnaround because I mean, I bought a PS3 maybe the 2 days before Last of Us came out. That was a console seller for me. Mm-hmm. And Microsoft can have the same thing. Like these things can happen. Turnarounds can happen. It's just we don't know when. You know what I mean? They can happen. You know?
In order for it to turn around, though, I mean, you have to think about it. There's a bunch of crap that need to be changed, and it also means that Sony has to literally stop making games and just epic fail in some kind of crazy way to make those consoles stop selling and make those games stop selling.
So Sony could get complacent. They could.
Well, but look, it won't be in the next 2 years because they've showed us their lineup in the next 2 years. So if they don't make another game besides the games that they've showed us, they'll still stay in the lead. So yes, we need the competition to make sure that Sony don't rest on the laurels. But at the same time, man, they would have to screw up epically. I mean, epically, in order for them to lose a lead. Like
I could tell you how.
How?
I could tell you how. Ghostbusters 3.
Oh shit!
Oh, yeah. Their movie. Yeah, you're right. Their movie.
Guess who made that movie though? All day. Yeah. Guess who made that movie? What studio? Guess what studio made that movie? Sony.
Wow. Who?
Yeah.
Sony made Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and they did the remake.
Yeah, the remake was horrible.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I'm just fucking around. But they the lead right now. You know, that's what it is. What it is. But I mean. We know it's coming. That's the good thing. We know it's coming. We know we got some shit coming up. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn, you know, got everybody taking this crazy pill.
Yeah.
So that's good though. That's good. Everybody's on the hype train. I don't agree with all the crazy Twitter shit I've been seeing, but enjoy the game, platinum it, and just that's it. And shut your fucking mouth, bro. Just enjoy your game.
Fuck that. I'm gonna talk my shit, especially Kingmaker.
Enjoy your game, right? No, talk your shit, bro.
I'm gonna fuck with Kingmaker all day. I'm gonna send him pictures every fucking 10 minutes. I'm gonna show him pictures.
Hey guys, I got a question. Talking about these crazy asses on Twitter and all that stuff. Somebody just sent me something about somebody community who's got one of the biggest mouse damage control. We all know who that is, who cries and whines every day, looking forward to some damn exclusive called Cupcake. What the hell is that shit?
It's Cuphead.
Oh, you talking about Cuphead?
No, they said Cupcake.
Oh,
what the fuck is Cupcake? Was that you all days?
You know what his problem is?
Shopping?
That's a spinoff of Cuphead.
Oh,
it's a quote unquote drive to return for Cuphead.
You know, I thought they were joking around because I'm like, you call it Cupcake. Well, it's probably because he eats so goddamn much, just keep thinking of goddamn food instead of an actual game.
Exactly.
No, real though. Yeah, what's up with that game? Because Cuphead, it has that Steamboat Willie fucking graphics design. That shit look dope.
I mean, my thing is maybe they were too far ahead of themselves. Maybe that engine isn't too easy to work with. Maybe. Really? I mean, it's very. I don't know. I've never seen any game.
The game should have came out a year ago, though.
It was like an indie, though, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
It was supposed to come out a year ago. It was supposed to come out around January of 2016.
Exactly.
We're now almost in March of 2017.
Exactly.
Where's the damn game?
These developers like eating corn inside of burritos, and they drinking beer on the job and shit. You know, Microsoft probably just
pizza stains on the drawing.
Horrible ass pizza. You know, but on the real, the last thing I heard about it was that the game was too hard. That they fucked up on the. Not really fucked up, but when they finished it. The learning curve was way too hard. They didn't realize how hard they made the game, and then they have to fix it. I don't know how.
But that ain't gonna take a whole year to
they probably put on there is what they're talking about right now.
You're talking about a software file. If you got software people, I'm talking about redoing the whole game. You're talking about a software file that ain't gonna take no goddamn year and a half to fix.
Well, Rand said that they wanted to let them add more levels on it, so I'm assuming that it was probably a short game, and they wanted to make it longer. And and give it more boss fights and stuff like that.
Well, maybe if they added more stuff to it, then I could see it taking longer. But if it was just the learning curve, that don't take over a year to fix.
At this point in time, it might.
Yeah, let me say.
At this point in time, it might as well be a Scorpio release.
Yeah, Rand saying originally the game was just supposed to be boss fights. Yeah, that would not work out. If it was
Yeah. Yeah, and let me say this real quick. When Paul Allen, Steve Ballmer, and Bill Gates were in charge at Microsoft, that's when we got the OG Xbox. Those guys, they knew what they were doing. But Bill Gates started that foundation with his wife. Steve Ballmer, I think, bought the Seattle Seahawks, or Paul Allen bought the Seahawks, and then Ballmer.
What's the other guy? Blackie
Clippers.
something. I forgot his name.
Shameless
Yeah.
Blackie.
Yeah, I can't. Hey, before we go on, I want to shout out my man. Everything according to me, Jay. He just arrived to the panel. You another one. Everybody on fire. I'm gonna go Trump on your ass. Don't y'all realize this is Trump America now? You can't be doing this shit.
That means we have a right to be late, motherfucker.
What's his favorite word? You're fired. So
I didn't get the message till late. I work graveyards and I was asleep. So
what's going on? I appreciate you showing up, man. What's going on, brother?
nah, it's all good, man.
Okay,
And I can't wait to play that cupcake game.
Cupcake. That's what I'm talking
Cupcake.
about.
That's the new game.
Fucking cupcake. That's you know what I'm saying. No, but Cuphead does look good and shit like that. I was like, you know what I'm saying? But damn, all right? Before I interrupted somebody, what were y'all saying?
Me.
Okay, what were you saying, man? I'm sorry. I just want to introduce you to the audience.
I got you. Now do what you got to do. I feel you. I was just saying that when those guys were in charge over there, they Xbox was a priority for them. What their community does not understand is that it's no longer a priority to Microsoft. Like Princess said, kind of a stepchild. So when I keep hearing people say, be the behemoth that you are, they have new leadership now.
Yeah.
That's just going to fall on deaf ears. And there's no diss on the people say that because they have new leadership and the leadership wants it to be more service-based. That's why they're buying game engines. They bought more game engines than they have studios at this point. So, and that's where they're going. And I get Steve. I'll say this real quick, Porter Rock, and I'll shut my hole after this. You had a major developer come out today and say you're not going to see any differences in the games from Scorpio to Pro till 2019. 2019, and at that point, Sony will announce their PlayStation 5.
You think it's going to? I don't think it's going to be that soon.
I think it will. I agree with him.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're going to announce it in 2019 I really do.
I think they're gonna run this cash cow like a motherfucker.
Exactly. It all depends.
The Pro was so half-assed. I think
it's not going to age well.
It all depends on the competition that they have. It all depends on how well the Switch sells and how good the Scorpio does. If the Scorpio comes out and sells well and picks up some steam, then yeah, they have that in their back pocket. But at the same time, like he said, I think they're going to run it into the ground.
And before anybody starts blasting me about calling the Pro half-assed, okay, let me clarify. I love the PS4 Pro. I have it. It's my preferred system.
Shut up. You are goddamn Xbox.
But right now, that CPU is a bottleneck. Everybody knows that. And they should have came with something stronger. They didn't. And I think that's the Achilles heel of the system. And they're going to have to change something up. They're going to have to come up with something new. Because let's face it, if the Scorpio is really powerful, I think that could be a takeover for Microsoft.
But check this out. Let me ask you this. Okay, with that being said, they've showed you God of War running on the OG PS4 and the Pro. They've showed you Mass Effect running on the PlayStation Pro. They've showed you, the Uncharted DLC. They've showed you all these other big hits, Spider-Man and the rest of them, running on the PlayStation Pro. The way those games look, do you really think that they need more power if they were able to show you what they can do with the system here?
Well, let me answer that.
Being half-assed?
They showed me a lot of 30 frames per second with checkerboard rendering, okay? Yeah, they've got some native games here and there, but it's 30 frames per second. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather have frames, I'd rather have more frames. That's
Well, that's what the
okay,
developers want, though.
if I had the choice between
Yeah.
4K 30 and 900p 60, I'm playing at 900p 60.
Well, and that's why these games are being patched to add the 60 frames option in there. You know, that's why that's been done. So if it's been done like that on the Pro,
difference in 4K 30 and the 1080p with the what do they call it, where it goes up and down in resolution.
the variable,
Doing
yeah.
that, and you could tell a difference in those games.
Well, what I know is not going to happen.
You talk about the Scorpio having all this power. Power's good, but what do you got without games? They're not even talking about any games.
You're
for the
100%
Scorpio.
right, Titanfall. 100% right. I'm with you there. They need to come with some games. This E3, if they don't show games, they've shot themselves in the foot.
They're dead in the water. They did, yeah. This E3, they've got to blow everything out of the water with game and stop canceling games.
Yep. Agreed.
I mean, people went. Honestly, they got to stop canceling games and bring these games to the table, and not just like the same old games. All right, we know there's going to be another Gears or something. We know that they probably going to do another Forza. They got the Halo or whatever. Something new to the table. Bring us variety. Bring us back like you were with the 360 when we had so much variety that you didn't know what the hell to do with yourself.
Let me ask y'all this. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna help out my man all day. You know what I'm saying? Even though he be doing me dirty in a multiplayer podcast, I'm gonna show you love. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna got you back. I'm gonna say this though.
All right.
Let's say like Red Dead Redemption. If fucking Scorpio could run that game with the bells and whistles at 4K 60, you don't think that might have an impact on
Not going to
Scorpio
happen.
itself?
That's not going to happen.
Let's assume it did. I'm not gonna go into. Let's assume a scenario: 4K 60, bells and whistle, Red Dead Redemption 2. You're saying you guys don't think that's going to be a huge impact if Microsoft just start
It
advertising and blasting and just saying the very best place to play Red Dead Redemption is
Yes.
Xbox?
Okay,
Yeah.
It will, but on the Pro,
It may, but that's only one game.
the
We're talking
developer,
one game.
the developer
All right,
is
but what I
not
mean-
going to split. They're not going to split the Pro with 30 frames in the Scorpio with 60. That's just not going to happen. We need to understand
But
that.
other developers have with the Pro.
Yeah, they have with the Pro. I'm just saying this. I'm just saying that just look at it from this perspective.
Mhm.
Red Dead Redemption,
Yeah.
Star Wars, Call of Duty, the big multiplayer, the big name multiplats, even Madden, 2K, native 4K, 60 frames, ultra settings, just blasting, beasting, clear advantage. You guys don't think that's going to be a huge advantage that it has over PlayStation?
It'll help.
It'll help
Where's
them
the
a lot.
exclusives, though? You're talking about multiplats. You're talking about multiplats. Where's the exclusives?
Yeah.
I agree. But
I agree
let me
too.
go this way. I'm gonna reverse this. I hate to I can't believe I'm doing this Xbox shit, but
I can't believe you're doing it either.
I know, but let's look at it this way.
Keep it
Let's
real.
Doing too well.
Let's be real. Let's be real. This past holiday season, who had the most exclusives during the holiday? Let's be real. Let's be 100. It was Xbox.
Yeah.
They had
Microsoft.
Gears,
Yeah.
they had Forza, they had Dead Rising, they had Recall. Regardless how you feel, they had the exclusives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, who won MPD?
Sony. That-
With what?
Sony.
With Uncharted that was 8 months old?
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But we know.
So,
we
the
know
Pro-
That's the other thing with Microsoft. Microsoft needs to also stop just doing exclusives around the holiday and give you shit the rest of the year.
I agree with that.
I've been with Xbox. I've been on both sides. Okay, I own all the consoles. Okay, and I still have all my consoles. I go way back to the OG. I go back. I got the PlayStation 2, 3, 4. I got all of it. I even got GameCubes, Nintendos. I got all that shit. Okay, Dreamcast, you name it. Genesis, I got them all. What I'm saying is though, is you gotta spread this shit out. Like look what Sony's doing. They're still giving you something throughout the time. What is Microsoft giving you even now?
I
Nothing.
do agree with her.
And
I
that
mean, we need
Pisses me
filler.
off.
We need filler. We
Yeah,
need filler.
Puerto Rock, you hit on
We
something
need
though.
filler.
Sony still won the NPDs, even though Microsoft had the exclusives over the holiday. But if you go back, the S really sold for two reasons alone. Number one, it was because people were clamoring for a new Xbox One. There was a lot of people that didn't want, well, they didn't want the original Xbox One. They waited for this upgraded system.
Ugly as fuck.
And And then, it had the 4K Ultra Blu-ray player. A lot of people bought it based on that player alone. It was the cheapest player on the market at the time. So it sold like hotcakes. And those are the two reasons, the main reasons people bought it.
But you know what I have an issue with that when it comes to the player, because they're not supporting the games. They bought it for the Blu-ray player, which is, if that's what you want, it's a gaming console. It's not a movie console. If I want to play movies, I'll go somewhere else. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. The people buy the consoles, but they buy it not for gaming.
And they have the worst sound.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, I think if a dude walks in there and say he's mid-20s, casual, not even really a gamer. I mean, I think he would pick the console over a standard Blu-ray, a Blu-ray player, 4K Blu-ray player. Just so if he wants to buy a game, the option's there. Even if you look at it from that point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I look at it. But believe it or not, that shit failed the PS3. Because I know some people that bought a PS3 and they didn't do a damn thing. They didn't even sign up for a PlayStation Network account, which was free.
That's what I originally bought the PS3.
Hey, fuck that shit! I'm telling you, that Blu-ray player. And what's the one thing they touted was, that was going to be better for gaming because they have more space for gaming. But Microsoft murdered them on that because Microsoft was the market leader, and what Microsoft did, I mean, shady, but it was a good move. They told developers that if you wanted to use more than one disc, you had to get their permission. If you didn't get their permission, you couldn't make the game on Xbox. So developers will go, hey, this game is 8, 9, 10 gigs. We need permission to this. Microsoft said, nope, fit it on a DVD. And since they were the market leader and they had the most software sales, they listened, which pretty much made Blu-ray disc irrelevant for gaming. And that was a smart. And you know who made up that plan? Peter Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody keeps talking about Steve Ballmer, Don Matrick. Peter Moore was the fucking man. He was the one that fucking laid out the blueprint on how.
He was the Dame Dash.
That motherfucker was the man. When that dude left to work with EA, that's when everything went to shit. And
back then,
that's when everything went to
you couldn't do no wrong with that system back then. The 360 is, in my opinion, the best system ever.
Yeah,
it was.
Man, I'm gonna boot your ass out this fucking.
Listen, if you played the 360, out of all of them, 360 had the games, it had everything. I mean, you really didn't want for nothing. I mean, I'm not saying I still played my PlayStations. I still had that shit too. But when it comes to Microsoft, I'm talking about, they had something going there, and after then they come out with the X1 bomb, and it goes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. The in my opinion, the 360 and the PS2 are the two most dominant consoles of all time. The 360 because it had all the games, but it brought more to the table. It brought arcade. That shit was dope. The fucking arcade games, much better than the indie shits we're getting now. I mean, we getting more.
Had a lot more third party.
Yeah, and then demos. God,
the demo disc. I missed that.
Everything on 360 had.
I miss demos.
What happened with that too? Even the arcade games had demo. Everything had a demo. You wanted to check out a game. Microsoft said every game must have a demo. Yeah. And they did, and that shit was amazing because.
And now you don't get that no more. You don't get that. They took all that away.
Yep.
Remember, I told you last time I was on this podcast. I said I used to have a homie. We call him the Demo King. Oh, this motherfucker didn't buy no fucking games. All he did was download new demos for like 5 years. That's all he did. But hey, can you knock him? I mean, if you mowing lawns and it's snowing, you ain't got no money.
That's true.
So, the goddamn 360 had Burger. Remember Sneak King? That shit had 3.
Yeah. Exactly.
Bro,
No, that console had everything. There was nothing it didn't touch. But
God, what happened?
Matrick. Peter Moore left. That's what happened.
Yeah, but okay, he left. He left, right? All of these studios, all these games that Microsoft had, all these back catalog of huge juggernaut games and studios they had. How did all that shit get
left?
Shrunk down to Gears.
When Peter Moore left, Peter Moore was with Dreamcast and all that, so he
Sega.
Because he worked with Sega, and he knew exactly what it would take to make a great console and be PlayStation. He finally got the money when he worked with Microsoft, and his plan worked. When he left, Don Matrix's vision wasn't just to make, continue what he was. It wasn't to continue what Peter Moore left. He wanted to make Xbox like an iPhone, the all-in-one device that everyone could enjoy.
Yeah, you're right.
That's when you notice Connect. That's when you notice he wasn't going after exclusives, and he kept with the same franchise over and over and over.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. His vision was to make Xbox the next iPhone.
Well,
that's what Matrix
I actually think that Microsoft tried to implement too much of their PC side into the Xbox One to begin with. I think they were trying to go too fast into these DRM. They wanted to eventually get rid of the discs, and they still do. They're still talking about that.
Yeah,
and I think it's on the Microsoft side. Really, the Xbox division is like the redheaded stepchild of Microsoft.
You don't have to say redhead though.
Can I ask you guys?
Just stay stepchild.
Can I ask you guys this? Do you think it's too damaged? I mean, right now, in the industry, when it comes to gaming, when you say the word Xbox, it's almost, people start laughing. It's almost one of those things where you want to distance yourself from that, which is sad. Do you guys think that there's a way for them to redeem that back? Where it's like it's cool again. It's cool again to get an Xbox.
The Xbox One S.
I'll say this. Twitter and internet could really alter or really change your reality. The fact is, we all talk shit about Xbox, but in a grand scheme, it is possibly the most financial successful console they had. It may not seem like it, but whatever they're doing is bringing revenue for them and stuff like that.
And believe me,
it is selling at a faster pace than the 360. That's really what matters. It may not be selling as fast as the PS4, but it's doing better than the 360 in terms of console sales.
Yeah.
You dipped out there for a second.
Okay. Everybody's eyes is on Xbox this E3. Everybody, because you know why? Most of us that are true gamers want to see them succeed with this Scorpio.
We want to be happy.
I want to see them. I honestly want to see them dominate Sony again for a little bit because I think Sony needs that. We need it for competition.
Right.
I'm a blue
like I said,
but we need good competition. We don't need just shit.
I'm not expecting Microsoft to kill Sony. What I want Microsoft to do is cock back and break Sony's jaw. Just one good time. Let him walk.
Exactly.
Just break his fucking jaw. That's all I want.
But how could they implement that? How could they swing and break Sony's jaw? I mean,
they got to bring games.
They
got to bring games. Bottom line, they got to do what Sony's doing. Bring games. They got to have more exclusives. Stop all the multi-plats. You got to bring games. Open. You got to have studios. Stop closing down all the goddamn studios. Stop canceling all the games that people want. People that were PlayStation people went out and actually bought an Xbox to play Scalebound.
I did.
And then they canceled it.
Yeah.
But check this out. This is what makes me upset as an Xbox gamer. When I hear about Phantom Dust, right?
I forgot about that.
480p.
Wait, bro. What?
Oh, come on. It ain't gonna go 480p.
Just when you thought it couldn't go any lower.
You can't give me a regular. You can't even give me a remaster. This is not proper remaster. You can't even do that.
That's what I'm saying. And then all these people,
that should be my mind. And everybody was like, everybody knew.
Talk
I'm like, I didn't know. I thought it was a remaster. Like, is this normal? Like, nobody talked about this. Like,
when I heard
I got a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
Is this normal? Is this normal? That most people that say they're real gamers. Now, if you own a 360 already, you have those games, okay? Backwards compat would be for the new people that come in, never had a 360, ain't want backwards compat. You got people that said they had the 360, have all the games for it, asking for backwards compat. And then you know what happens? You find out they're going to buy. They're not asking for new games, new IPs. They're asking for backwards compatibility. What are you, stupid?
Well, they kind of want to play some of the games.
That's preference.
Backwards.
But they said they already had the games on the 360. Why would you want a backward compat? But then I found out that some people were actually going to buy the game because they never had it on the 360.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
true.
True.
I mean, there's a lot of games. I mean, they come out that I haven't never played, and I
here's a point. since we brought up fucking Phantom Dust. So once that shit blew up, and I'm like, what the fuck? Here's my question: State of Decay 2, right?
Mhm.
The first one was like an Xbox Live arcade game, right?
Right.
Right. Is there any confirmation that State of Decay 2 is an actual console production game, or is it just a
Oh,
sequel?
it is.
Is
It
console
is.
production? You have info on that?
Well, they've been releasing art images, but I mean, no actual screenshots.
What happened is I was listening to another popular podcast about 4 months ago, and they had the developer.
Don't tell me
from
fucking
State of
crap
Decay
gamer
Studios.
shit, man.
No. It's a real. I forgot his name, but he's a developer on the game, and it's actually being developed for not the Scorpio, but for Xbox One
console,
from the
console.
ground up.
I'm
All
looking forward to
Yes.
that one.
Okay, because I was thinking, I'm like, if these
It's a
motherfuckers-
full-blown $60 title. Yes.
Okay,
It's not
yeah,
an
'cause
arcade
I'm
game.
like-
You're talking about Phantom Dust, even State of Decay. When that game was out on the 360, it ran like shit, and I loved it. I loved the game, but it ran like shit. And when it came out, supposedly remastered on the Xbox One, it still ran like dog shit. I'm really hoping that Part 2 is much better.
Yeah, I'll send you guys the interview because it's really interesting. They really
Yeah,
touch
can
upon
you send
all
that?
the
Yeah.
issues.
'Cause
Yeah,
when
I'll send it.
I saw that thing with Phantom Dust, I'm thinking, wait a minute, because I didn't see much on State of Decay, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, this
and
could still be an Xbox Live arcade game.
That's
Nah,
a really
they're adding the Phantom
Phantom
Dust
Dust
bullshit.
is the original Xbox version.
Yeah,
And I
And they're
heard,
bringing
you know,
that out on the
grapevine-
Scorpio.
They are not remastering.
I heard,
it.
and I heard that game is like really different. It's
Oh.
unique at that time. It was, So I'm interested. Like, damn, if they remastered him, I'll get a
Yeah,
chance to play. I never played
that's
that
the
shit.
thing. Game is good. You know what I'm saying? If they're trying to, and I know I talked to Livewires when I had our one-on-one, and he's like, "Oh,
Right.
Microsoft is just trying to fill out the audience." I'm like, if you're trying to fill out the audience, you have to at least put a little effort up front. You cannot just release the Xbox original version because no one's going to be interested. It's not even going to look right on an HD TV. It's going to look
But that
terrible.
game, but Porter Rock,
At 480p.
Porter Rock, that game was a lower tier game back then.
I agree. But
know,
if you want to try to at least see if there's any interest, you have to at least make it 720p. You have to at least make it HD.
Yes, at
By
least
default.
minimum.
At least that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying redo the whole engine. Just do enough to make it look good in 1080p, and then people give a chance. But at 480p, no one's gonna fuck with it. No one's gonna touch. No one's even gonna give this game a chance because
When they
look ugly.
when they said 480p, man, I was thinking, you know why they did that, bro? You want to put it on the Windows phone.
Oh,
damn.
you know why?
Making a Windows phone.
Even phones have 720p.
yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's why I tweeted Zaire. I was like, "Yo, tell that bitch Jason Hernandez. Good thing I kept my 1980s. I can play man, shout out to Jason Hernandez. But he be fucking with me saying I still got my 1980 Zenith TV. I'm like, well, it's a good thing I kept it. I could play Phantom Dust in all its original glory.
Native.
Porter up,
with no lag.
Porter up be watching the TV. He be sliding his thumb across that big silver Z. in
That's
slow
it.
motion.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I'm bringing out this bad boy. That's a rock that
baby.
You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. All right, fuck, man, this is good. All right, so let's see what's the last topic. Where am I at? Oh shit, y'all came in a good one. Okay, hey, Halo Wars 2. We'll go back to that real quick. You play all day. You playing Halo Wars 2?
I got it loaded up right now. I'm about to play it after the podcast.
Oh, okay. You haven't played it yet? You don't know shit about it?
No. I played it. I'm on mission 4 right now.
Okay, how is it? What you think about it?
I like it. I mean, I like RTSs, so it's
It's
cool
just
with me.
like-
I think
Since it's just you and Tim Dog who are playing it. What's going on? Let us know.
I got on my list right now. About I think out of everybody, I 200 maybe. I got 100 people on at once. Maybe 10 to 12 of them are payment. That's a lot.
Yeah,
for
for
me.
an RTS? Yeah. So what is it?
Yeah,
What
I
do you
didn't think nobody was gonna copy it.
What you think about it?
It's cool. It's just that I played RTS before. I mean, when you play these games, you're just playing for the lore and the skins of different. You're not. It's not too different from any other RTS that I played. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's Halo, and the cutscenes are great. Now, the direction they're going with the story, I think, can kill 4 and 5. Like this shit is like the protagonist, the villain, is fucking crazy, and I'm excited, and it's amazing. Yeah, like if they should have went this route a long time ago, but it's happening now, so I think this will lead into 6. And if it does, that's fucking great. But other than that, yeah, it's a decent art. I mean, you have to like the game. It's a niche game, you know. So if you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, you know.
Is it a system seller?
Fuck no. Why would it be?
But you say, but at least for Halo fans, and if you like RTS,
Yeah, for Halo fans, yeah. If you like RTSs, but you know, yeah, it's not a system seller. Fuck no. I would never buy anything for
according
RTS.
to some of the Xbots, it's that Sea of Thieves will be the system seller.
See,
No, you know what? You know what? Let me get on that real quick because I kind of see. I can understand why somebody would think that. Microsoft is mainly a multiplayer based console, right?
Mm-hmm.
That game's going to need multiplayer to succeed. It's going to need a party to play, and that could be a good selling point for people trying to play multiplayer that don't usually play multiplayer.
Yeah.
So I could see someone getting a console because I mean those survival type S games are very, very, very popular right now.
Yeah.
With H1Z1, Ark Survival, Rust, and they're mostly on PC. So Microsoft's trying to tap into that market to get some of those gamers over here to stream. That's why they focus on streaming with Sea of Thieves because that's what people do in H1Z1 and those survival games. So that could be a console seller for some people because we don't have that on Xbox except for Ark. That's all that's all. And Minecraft, if you want to consider Minecraft.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right, that's gonna be interesting because I looked at a 14-minute gameplay walkthrough, and like the concept's good. I guess you join up with your party. You got a map. You look for an island. Then you all sail there. Then all of you get off the boat. You fucking dig, grab a treasure. One guy carries it. You try to protect them. Then you load it up on your ship, and then you go back to this place to unload it. But on the way, people could attack your ship, take it over, steal your treasure.
Or you could sing songs on the ship, have a drink with your buddy.
Do all that shit. Make motherfuckers walk the plank, all that shit.
If we get attacked by other real life people, like online, that's dope.
Yeah, I heard that's what I mean. No, you're gonna attack by other people. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a cross between like the Dark Zone and Sea of Thieves and shit like that. Here's my thing, and this is like what Division had issues with, and I think at this point only fucking Destiny got it right. Is you start out maybe the first couple of days, first week or two, you start doing the missions, you go look for treasure, and do all that stuff with your buddies. What happens after 2 weeks? How do you keep people interested? At what point does it stop being? Yeah, the game itself. At what point does it stop being just go to another island, dig treasure, shampoo?
This is the problem. Let me explain because let me explain. The problem with with consoles and trying to do these games, when you're on PC playing, the World of Warcrafts and the Diablos and things like that, games that are perpetual, they keep going, they don't stop. The end game is the game. So if there's nothing there, the game's dead. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It had like that's why Destiny is such in a fucked up predicament. Bungie knows how to make a good shooter. They don't know how to make a fucking RPG. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And to make Sea of Thieves successful, they have to have content at the end. I mean, the end game has to have content or the game's dead. It is fucking dead. There's gonna be nothing to do. There's no incentive to keep playing. You know what I mean? So that's the same thing with Destiny.
I would say that's the thing with Destiny. What made it successful? It was the raid, because that's what it was all about. You would keep replaying the same Nightfall. You will play the same Strike. You will play Iron Banner. You will keep doing all this shit because you needed gear. Because it was all about the raid. And then once you did the raid, they brought out the hard mode. Yeah. And then when they brought out the hard mode, they brought out the challenge mode. So it was always those shits that kept people going back, and back. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing Division didn't have. I mean, they tried to bring a raid, but that shit was corny. Their version of the raid, anyway. And I think that was what hurt Division.
See if
they didn't have
buddies get together and fucking kill a huge ass octopus with fucking butter teeth, and that'd be cool as fuck.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean? But they don't. If they don't have shit like that, then
this motherfucker want to hunt. This guy want to hunt Moby fucking dick and shit like that.
I mean, what else you gonna do?
I see the same people propping up that game that put up Quantum Break as well and said that was the best. They didn't support it, and then people damage controlling because it was too short of a game. The storyline was bigger, and the cutscenes were bigger than the actual gameplay. Mm-hmm. Plus the other things that went on in it, I had I had problems with frame rates, textures, everything. But I don't see, every time I listen to people talk about propping up games, They don't buy the games, and when you find out, you look them up, and you say, well, what are they playing now? They're always on social media.
Yeah.
In all fairness,
talk about
Quantum Break, I heard Quantum Break is a good movie.
I would say this. I would say no, but I know I haven't played Quantum Break.
They need to left. They need to. For me personally, this is just my opinion. They need to left it in the movies.
Well, I mean,
that's where they need to leave it.
Let me ask you something, Titanfall. But do you give?
Yes.
What kind? Do you give them any credit for trying? This is a new IP. This is a variety. You know, what do you think about that?
No, I gave them credit for trying, but they were. It took them too. You know, first of all, they postponed it how many times? I'm out. At least my copy seemed to be broken. I swear it was broken, because I mean, if you go back and look at what I said about the game, which was my experience, I took screenshots of things that were like, does this belong in the game? I mean, honestly, this texture is shit. Hair on some of the people look good, and the other ones almost look like if you were playing a Lego game.
Well,
They look like Lego hair. You know, come on. You take that long to put out a game. You know, I mean, I understand that maybe, you know, it was a short play because it was something new. But you could have fixed all that other shit in there, too. And I don't like games that you just go from one point to the next. You couldn't even actually really explore or look around or do anything.
You know, it's too linear then.
yeah.
Right.
I would say that's one of the things about Quantum Break, and I know I get beat on the head because we're like, oh, you know, Remedy don't make multiplayer games. I'm like, I understand that. I know that. I know Remedy don't make multiplayer games. People don't have to preach that to me. I understand, but the average casual doesn't understand that. And a lot of these casuals on Xbox, I mean, both platforms has casuals because for whatever reason they buy it.
Yeah.
But a lot of Xbox gamers want that multiplayer.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, my friends, they didn't even know about Quantum. They called it the fucking game with the dude from X-Men as Iceman. So I knew who they're talking about because I recognized the actor.
Yeah.
Right? And they asked me what multiplayer modes it had. When I told them it didn't, they were like, whatever then. They didn't care. And I couldn't convince them otherwise. That game could have been, I could have told them, hey, this thing has a better single player than Uncharted. They would have just said, well, we would have bought a PlayStation if we wanted Uncharted, but we didn't. We want multiplayer. And this game ain't multiplayer, so we don't want it. You're
right.
Hear it.
You're right. A lot of people want multiplayer. You're absolutely right about that. They want a storyline and they want multiplayer.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
some guys, these other dudes that don't play stories in multiplayer games. Like they never, like these dudes did not even play the story in Battlefield. They have no idea what the story is. They don't care.
Ruining the single player experience for real gamers, man. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, that's the thing is, you know, Xbox doesn't have any single player experience games, and whereas Sony have a ton of them. You got Uncharted. I mean, you can pretty much every exclusive is a single player story driven game.
But that's our thing. Like, let's look at it this way. How many people you know say, "Oh, I bought Uncharted and I'm just playing the multiplayer"? Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody gonna do that shit on multiplayer. I would bug the fuck out if anybody told me that. I'd be like,
I'm taking off the friends list.
I'd be like, are you fucking okay? Are you on that bath salt or some shit? Like, I never heard that. But you hear that on Xbox. Some people don't play single player. They go straight to the multiplayer.
No, I agree with you on that. They don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is, you know. So you can't keep making these games. Imagine if Sony, as a first-party studio, stopped making single-player games and only catered to multiplayer games. It would fail.
Yeah.
Because we would be like, get the fuck out of here. That's not our big thing. I mean, guys, granted, we play online, but it's not the biggest feature for us. That's not the number one feature we crave.
Well, listen, I like both. I'm a gamer. I like both. I like the storyline. I like the single-player part. But I do like to get online and be competitive with people sometimes, too. So, yeah, I like both.
Yeah.
I gotta have both. I can't just have all online, all multiplayer and no campaigns. That wouldn't be fun to me.
Yeah, but I mean, we all know Sony caters to. I mean, they cater to the world versus just Europe and North America. So,
right,
that may be part of the problem as well.
Yeah, because Microsoft doesn't push to go. I mean, if it sells somewhere else, fine. If it don't, whatever. They don't even try, and that's one of their problems.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. They did try with the Xbox One, but when you look at over in Japan, over in just Asia, period, there were like one or two people that were actually standing in line to buy, the Xbox One. So nobody literally, they sell like 1 or 2 a week. If you look on NPDs right now over in Asia, I mean, there's only like 2 Xboxes sold in Asia.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but they don't try. But they just tried it with the Xbox One. They didn't try to continually do it.
Yeah.
If you're going to market, if you know anything, if they know anything about marketing, you got to market it. Market it. You've got to.
I'm gonna be real.
You see, Phil took a trip to Japan. I don't think he was trying to get.
I see that.
I think
I'm gonna be real.
Deals happen.
I'm gonna be real. I think 360 did the best when it comes to getting Japanese games because they even got games that PlayStation 3 didn't get, or at least didn't get for like 2-3 years, like Tales of Vesperia.
Yeah.
That shit sold worse than the original Xbox in Japan. I think at this point, the only way Microsoft will actually have a huge penetration in Japan, or at least a decent one, is if they actually buy 2 or 3 Japanese studios. If they bought Sega and Capcom, that's what it's gonna take. They're gonna have to be like, you know what, fuck it. Sega, Capcom, we're buying you. That's it.
Yeah.
Exclusive to fucking Xbox. There you go.
You think Phil went over there with a suitcase full of money, ready to buy studios?
They're not gonna invest that much.
No, you know what I think he did? He went over to Japan to sit down with Yoshida and have a drink and play his PS4 with him. He he's playing his PS4.
No, the motherfuckers. No, they're gonna stream.
Him and Yoshida's playing.
That shit is wild, man. I'm like, yo, these guys are bugging.
Hey, Phil went over there with a suitcase full of job applications, gave it to Sony.
Oh shit. He'd be like, yo, what the fuck?
Advanced copy of Horizon Zero Dawn. That's what
Maybe he went over for an interview. He took his resume.
That's what I'm saying.
That shit is
went
crazy.
over with a fucking briefcase that had an Xbox One S in, and they playing Killer Instinct, man.
Oh shit! You know what I'm saying? They challenged his ass on fucking Twitter. He's like, "What? She said I could beat your ass and Killer Instinct, motherfucker."
Phil over there walking around with an interpreter with a fucking with an afro and shit.
All right. The last part. Last part of the segment. This was funny, and I call the last topic. Hey, fanboys, we don't care if you don't like our list. So the fucking list.
I don't like your list, nigga.
Boom.
The list. I don't care if you don't like my list, man. I don't watch your shit. I don't watch your shit, man. I don't watch your shit, nigga. I don't watch your shit, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
so now,
I have no problem with that list.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. The listing, like on both sides, is getting me sick. Because everybody's talking about it. Like the PlayStation side's talking about it, not even the Xbox side's all over. And I'm like, all right, this list is getting out of hand, bro.
Yeah.
This shit's like we opened Pandora's box because everybody's talking about it, whether it's good or bad or indifferent. Okay, here's my thing, and this is my thing with the list. In all reality, all right. Obviously, there's maybe like if I look at the list, there's probably like 10 games I'm truly interested on that list. I know other people have their own decisions and stuff like that. Other people have their own choices. Some games, like obviously we talked about Gravity Rush, how it flopped in sales.
Yeah.
But it might be something people still interested, whatever. Some people like Yakuza, some people don't. Whatever it is. My thing is this, all right, with the list. And this is really what it is. All right. If people don't like the list, right, whatever, even if you want to have a serious conversation and you don't like the list, you don't like PlayStation fanboys doing these little memes or Photoshop and putting all these titles together. You don't like none of that shit. My question is this though: what's the alternative? What is Xbox doing alternatively? If you don't like this strategy, then what's a better strategy? Can somebody answer me that? What's the better strategy that Microsoft's doing right now? If this is a stupid thing to do, then what should be done? And who's setting that example? Can anybody answer? Don't answer all at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, whether you like the list or not, it's always, and at the end of the day, it always ends up lopsided. Especially right now. But I don't know. I enjoy the list. I enjoy the guys making the list. These are our games. Here's your 4 games. I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy the laughing and stuff like that. What can happen? I think I don't know, man. I don't see much that's going to change, even leading into the next 2-3 years. I just don't.
For me, when I see the list, I look at it. When I look at the list, I'm like, damn, I'm going through it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking, and I'll probably pick around maybe 6 games, right? That's the games that I would want to play. Most of the ones I pick are AAAs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the rest of the stuff around it. What? Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. So you're the perfect textbook example. So let's say the list is bullshit, whatever. Okay, what do you think is a better alternative than just making up lists? What do you think is a better alternative, and who's setting that example? You think Microsoft is providing a better alternative, or like what, or Nintendo?
I mean, there is. I don't know. I mean, this is 2017. There's always been a fucking list every year.
Exactly.
There's always a list. There's no reason. There's no alternative. So when I used to go to Funko Land and Babbage's, there was a fucking list right on the counter. You look and see what's coming out on all consoles. So, and I would check off the ones I want, check off the ones I didn't. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where, I would pick on Xbox side. I'll pick a few here. PlayStation, I'll pick a few here. But I'm a gamer at the end of the day. I love PlayStation, but I bleed Xbox. So I know what I'm buying on both from day one. I know it 2 years out. I already know what I'm getting.
Yeah.
So, when I see the filler games in there, I talk shit because Sony, honestly, Sony lets a lot of things through the pipeline that shouldn't come through. And that's just facts. A lot of games are priced like crazy. That's just gaming as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Sony just wants to have a plethora of games, and nothing wrong with that. I just won't fucking give them the money. You know what I mean? But that's just me talking. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might want to play a fucking comic book game on their fucking PS4 and not actually have the interaction with the game. That might be cool to them.
Man, don't be fucking throwing shit on Spider-Man. I know that's a
no, I'm not.
Yeah, comic book game. That's fucking kill.
No. There's a game on there. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a novel. It's like a graphic novel that you can't play. It's like a slideshow.
But let me ask you this.
But can you blame
Hold on, quick. He made a comment. You said a comment. You said it shouldn't even come down the pipeline. Let's say like if this game didn't interfere with another game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So why shouldn't it have been made? Let's say it only sold like 100,000, 200,000 copies, whatever. And let's say, but
I
it
give them
didn't
credit
interfere with something else. You still think that it shouldn't have been made, even though it's not taking no skin off?
No. Let me finish. Okay. So, even though I might spit on a couple games, I might step on them, I might throw them off a cliff, but at least PlayStation gamers have them. You know what I'm saying? That's facts. At least it's there for someone to like. If it's an L, if it sucks, at least you can say it sucks. You played it, you purchased it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Xbox doesn't have a lot of filler games at all. It's AAA, and maybe not even a third party. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
It's just you're gonna buy the big ones, and that's it. There's nothing in between.
If you only had your Xbox, you'd be sleeping.
Oh,
right.
Shit, Princess.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. My Xbox is ashy as hell. All right.
Hey, but you know what?
Xbox is ashy as hell right now,
That's why I love being.
and it's making me mad. It's making me mad.
That's why. This is why we're all different. Because my PlayStation 4 sat here, and every time I would lean over to get my shoe, I would get a dust bubble in my nose. But that's just that's just what it was.
I'll say this. I'm going to be the mediator. It's true. It's not just different perspective, but it's what goes with the territory when you own two consoles.
Right.
When 90% of the shit you could play across the same thing, it depends on which side. There's some people on the PlayStation don't even turn it on because they don't want to play Neo. They don't want to play Yakuza. They'll play Horizon Zero Dawn and then they'll go back to sleep because they're gonna play everything on the Xbox. They're gonna play all the multiplats and they're gonna play even if they don't play Halo Wars 2 and all they're playing is Resident Evil, Mass Effect, and For Honor. They're gonna do it on the Xbox. They're not gonna do it, and vice versa. There's people who are, that.
Actually,
So
I've actually gotten games that were multiplat on both my consoles to see the difference in how they played or graphics or something else. I've actually gotten a game that was on both because I'm just a gamer. No, I ain't rich. I got money. No, trust me. I made sure I got a deal on them. Trust me. I went to it on sale, but you know what I'm saying. But I've done stuff like that. I like both my consoles, but Xbox right now, I'm not being funny, is making me mad in hell. It is what it is. They're not giving me enough, and they're canceling too much. And the stuff they are giving me, I don't want.
Man, that's a good point.
I just don't want it.
I think the biggest problem that we have on, with the Xbox, as a owner of the Xbox and the PlayStation, is with Sony. At least they opened up their cards. They showed you the next couple of years worth of games and what you're going to be playing, and that gets you excited. But on the Microsoft side, you can't see past. I mean, basically today. When did Halo Wars release? Today, yesterday, something like that.
Yesterday.
We can't see anything else past that besides that one pirate game that they're going to release. So we don't know. You have to wait. Basically, it's like wait to E3, and hopefully they announce some stuff that'll come soon. Because if it doesn't, then we have to wait to Christmas time to get something. Then we have to wait to next E3.
But that's what I'm saying. You got to wait almost
a year.
You got to wait almost a year to get anything. Microsoft used to not be like that. But see, Microsoft used to not.
And all that stuff.
You can talk about the Ryzen and the 320.
Guess what? I'm gonna tell you why I'm a fucking boss, and I'm eating a piece of chicken, smoking a cigar. Let me tell you why.
Because you're fucking hungry and disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's why.
Listen, let me answer Boca Loca. He said, what did he say up here? He said, he bleed. Why would you play worse versions of third-party games? He bleeds no games. Xbox One is cool. Okay, cool. I've been on Xbox 10 years. You know what I mean? But my PlayStation brand hasn't went anywhere. It's still right here. So when Xbox doesn't have anything, I cut that motherfucker on and play some games.
Exactly.
Like it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So
yeah.
But the only reason why I stay on my Xbox is because I've been gaming with the same people for 10 years.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right. No, I understand. But see, that's the thing.
Right.
I got friends that are saying they don't even want to play on it anymore because I mean,
shit, man, you
got a lot of friends on Xbox. Huh? What was that?
I'm joking.
But here's
What'd you say?
No, I said you become the crap game on my podcast. What are you doing?
Oh, the hell I am. I'm a cyber whip you. You ain't that fuck, man. I can drive to your ass. I can drive to your ass.
Oh man.
You get me on your podcast. You can fuck me up. You can call me the move. Nah, don't call me. That's just hurtful.
No, I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, but I'm just playing for you.
You know what though? I gotta be honest though. I'm a neutral, and
filthy neutral.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
Man, pick a side, damn it.
No, I can't do it because I love both brands. I love the games. That's what I should say. It's not the brands for me. It's the games. Now, it's true. There is less exclusives on the Xbox One, but when it comes to the multiplats, the reason why I play the PlayStation 4 is because that is where most of my, friends and everything plays. That's why I'm there. But when I compare the games and I look at them on the Xbox One, sure, there's a small difference here and there. But honestly, man, there's not a huge difference, guys. It's
no, there's not.
Game. I hate when people really clown and say the Xbox One is trash and everything. It's not trash. It's a decent system.
They just need more games.
Actually, when we do that, man, it's all fun. We're just joking. We don't mean it's trash.
Oh, I don't mean
just,
you. But I've heard.
There's some people on Twitter that take this shit serious.
Yeah, it's
dudes on YouTube that are grown ass men. We're talking in their 30s, 40s, talking some serious trash, and it's like, why? It's video games. Get over it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And all I'm saying about the Xbox, I don't hate the Xbox. I want both to succeed. I own both, okay?
Yeah.
All I want is more games. All I want is the games. I ain't worried about all that special other shit you're adding. Just give me games. I'm a gamer at the end of the day. I just want games.
Let me ask you guys something, though. What if they announce Connect 2.0 at E3?
That's nail in the coffin. I'm
gonna tell you Bill's not even playing that shit. That shit is dead.
I don't know, man.
Right now, if they announce Connect 2, I'm gonna put my phone. I'm gonna put my phone on its side, on a little kickstand, and you're gonna see that Xbox fly out the fucking window.
No, he's not gonna do that. I mean, they don't even make because Kinect used it on the Xbox One. The original had an actual port. They don't even the Xbox One doesn't even have that port. You have to buy an adapter, right?
Yeah, but what are they gonna do for the Scorpio when it comes to doing all the streaming and stuff?
It's gonna be they'll probably just make a regular camera like PlayStation.
Or might have a universal port where you can hook up alternate third
Oh
party.
yeah, or regular, because it's Windows 10 technically, so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you can probably just plug in any camera at that point.
If they announce the name Connect in any fashion at E3, it's over.
I'm done. If E3 they announce Connect 2.0 or 3.0, I'm gonna be like, put me on BGST.
Oh no!
I'm a hack. I'm gonna find my way to get that link. I'm gonna be like, yo, Allday, send me the link. I'm gonna fuck up. Connect 3.0. It's done. But they're not gonna.
Well, I got a question for the whole panel. How is everybody getting HZD?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah!
Making sure
I got that shit.
Make sure you guys
Collector's
are
edition.
Yeah.
I don't think, and that shit's been advertised. I think that shit's gonna do real.
I'm buying it.
I
I'm
think I
buying it
will now, but it wasn't really on my radar.
Really?
Because your goddamn Xbox talking about your neutral.
I have a bone to pick. I have a bone to pick with according to me though. We'll talk later, but
oh shit.
He said that wasn't on his radar.
No,
But he left me a comment. He left me a comment not too long ago saying he was getting Ghost Recon. That's a problem.
yes, I am getting.
I don't understand it. Hey, more power to you,
Co-op,
baby.
man. Co-op. That's why I'm getting it.
Multiplayer co-op. That's we just talked about that.
What
the Xbox.
what platform you gonna get it on?
PS4 Pro.
Oh, what the fuck, man!
He wants it in 4K, baby. 4K.
I want to play.
Man,
I want to play with my buddies.
I'm a
That's
mute.
where they're at.
You're done. Get out of here. You're undercover Xbox. I'm just playing, man.
But no,
But that's great.
You know
But
what?
Ghost Recon, see, this is why Cave Maker keep my head in. Buying multiplayer.
Hey, Porter Rock, I got since you the main
What's
pony
up?
dude on this over here. So, do you guys think that we're gonna? I mean, this is the only problem. Like, when you get if the game's good, if it lives up to my standards, and I enjoy it, I'm gonna want more content from it.
For
I don't know
Horizon
if
Zero
they-
Dawn?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
kinda
they're gonna do
worried that-
DLC. Yeah, they're gonna do DLC.
They're just not doing microtransactions. So everything that they're coming out is actually full-fledged DLC.
But hey,
Story
just
stuff.
Let me say,
Yeah, story based. They're not gonna pay. Here's
not downloadable barrettes for her hair and shit like that.
they're not gonna be like, here's a haircut for like $5.
Right. Okay.
So the thing that got me about Horizon Zero Dawn, where it just really wasn't on my radar at first, it was the whole dinosaur, robot dinosaur thing. It just, I don't know, I just didn't care for it. But after seeing reviews and listening to some of the gameplay mechanics, some of the RPG elements in it, that's what piqued my interest. And then I said, okay, this could be a game for me then.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, there was a lot of people that didn't realize, because the one thing a lot of people were concerned about, and I know we hashing the same thing, but they were talking about what does Guerrilla know about making an RPG? But a lot of people didn't know that they got the Witcher 1 and 2 devs to help them out with that, and they hired the story writer of Alpha Protocol and Fallout New Vegas for that. So they knew, we suck at this. Let's get other people to do this
help
part.
us out.
We'll take care of the graphics. We'll take care of the graphics.
I'm getting actually sick of the people online talking some dumb shit about that game, talking about she cave woman and all this other shit. Come on now, what the hell is wrong with you? That's very fucking racist and putting women down.
Misogynistic.
Yeah.
So
Say it again.
Come on now.
I stepped away. What'd you say?
They were calling the woman on Horizon Zero Dawn a cave woman. She worse than a cave woman
Oh shit.
Oh.
on Twitter and all that other shit.
So you talking about trying to like demonize her and shit like that?
Yeah, demonizer.
Yeah.
Which you know what's funny? Let's talk about this. So this whole
Actually, one person in particular called her a cave bitch, which is live wires. That is racist towards white women. Okay, that motherfucker has a big mouth. If I ever get him in a room, I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell that motherfucker off. He's talking shit about me, and I'm tired of him putting down women.
Oh shit. Yo, that dude is wild, bro.
There's something wrong with him. He must be doing that. What you call Puerto Rock? What people are doing?
Assault.
Titanfall.
Yeah,
There's something
the
wrong with a
assault.
lot of these grown ass men on YouTube.
There is. But I mean, you don't go. I mean, if you ain't one to play the game, you ain't got to go around calling characters like K bitches and all this other shit. Come on now, you're grown.
Yeah.
Act grown. That's why I did that video the other night that I put up last night, because I was tired of these grown ass men crying and saying dumb ass shit. And so I asked them, who the fuck raised you guys? Where the fuck were you raised? In a jungle or something?
Well, I mean, they want to play the game. That's the problem. They're upset and they're lashing out because it's not on their platform of choice. They're not grown enough to go to the store and go buy another gaming system to play the game. They're just going to lash out. That's what I've said before. That community makes me itch. You know, like my skin's dry. The Xbox is dry. They're making my skin dry, and I'm starting to itch now. So that's just the way.
I got some water for you.
Well, I'll send you some lotion. I'll put some lotion on my Xbox. I gotta put some more on there. I got some good lotion. It'll clear up that itch.
Okay, well,
right, because jealousy creates hate. That's all it is jealousy.
Yeah.
But do you think it's jealousy or envy? I think it's
envy. Think about it. When you spend the last 3 years having to damage control and just, I mean, day after day getting teased about your console of choice, that shit has to wear on you some kind of way. And I think people are just finally having a mental breakdown. But it's like, all you have to do is spend $250, man, and go get your PlayStation, then be back, you know?
Well, they're tweeting Phil Spencer, like, begging him for something, like, we can't compete. What are we supposed to do? And Phil Spencer's like, hey, go and celebrate the games. And they're like, well, that's not enough, and you all need to be the behemoth that you are.
You know what? You know what they need to do? Stop. Do what Phil Spencer did. Go buy a PlayStation.
Yeah,
I like Phil. I like Phil. Phil is a true gamer. Bottom line, I like that guy.
He plays games, bro.
He actually talks about the PlayStation games that come out. He congratulates Sony and everything else.
Yeah.
You know, and these guys bash him, but he's on Twitter talking to these guys. Well, you know what other guys that are running that are heads of divisions of gaming companies are actually talking to people on Twitter. So,
But
I mean,
that's true.
Point.
But me personally, being the asshole that I am, I would never. If you're not giving me props, I would never say anything nice to you. That's just my thing. You know what I mean? If you never say, if we walking down the street and you didn't say what's up or give me a head nod, then fuck you. That's just me, though. That's just me.
yeah.
I'm not holding my foot.
My only thing with Phil Spencer and the Xbox brand, and it's not only him because there's other people above him or around him that make decisions, is that I'm not getting the games. That is my gripe. And and no YouTube and the Upload Studio sucks, which I spoke with him in a private chat about that. I mean, I was in a chat and spoke with him personally last December and told him about Upload Studios.
Upload Studio needs a fucking overhaul.
Yeah.
But that Upload Studio sucks.
That whole UI needs an overhaul. That whole Windows 10 thing ain't working, man. That thing is garbage.
And I told him this personally in December of 2015.
Yeah.
Well,
I told him.
the Xbox UI to me, you know, the friends list and navigation, the mini menu, I think that shit is great. Where I see how I knew it was great is when PlayStation tried to do it with their update and it failed miserably. That's how I knew it was better. But there is things that can be altered and changed to make Xbox
Bring back
UI
the
run
blade.
better.
Bring
Yes.
back the blades.
No fucking blades.
I'd rather have that than that mess they got now.
Listen, I'm sure
That blade was.
I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure he's a great guy. Like you said, he gets on, he talks to people, he tries to interact with the fans. He does play. I mean, I get all that.
He listens to the community. He listens to the community.
But you gotta think about it, Phil
Yeah, but sometimes he listens to the wrong people in the community. He listens to people who buys more Xbox than they do
Well,
games.
that's why he's on the airplane flying over to Japan, because he was listening to the people complaining about not having any games. So
That's
he took
exactly
his.
what I told people.
He went over. I'm telling you, he went over there with his PlayStation. He was playing with Yoshida. He was playing with Yoshida.
He went to go pick up his.
He played-
He went to go pick up his Switch early.
Oh,
Nah, he already had one.
damn.
Nah, this is the
My
thing
man,
that's
my
all
man's
the
getting his
time.
custom
Like,
Switch.
think about it. Put your business caps on with your little tinfoil hat on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Phil's on Twitter all day long, right? He responds. He's talking to people. He sees the negative tweets. He sees what people want. You know what I mean? Now it's up to him to act on it. You know what I mean? It's up to him to take consideration what we're saying, what a lot of fans are saying, and what they want. Phil has to answer to somebody. He's not the boss. You know what I mean?
But see, that's what I'm saying. If he's bringing this stuff to them, and that those other people aren't listening, then his hands are tied. We don't know that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It is a problem, and we don't know what's going on. I mean, they keep everything closed mouth so much. We don't even know what games are coming.
But that's part of the problem, though. Titanfall Princess. That's part of the problem. Him and the rest of the Microsoft execs, the Xbox execs, they're on Twitter all day and all night. They need to be in the studio. I mean, not the studio. They need to be in a conference room, on the telephone, cutting deals, buying studios, doing whatever they can to make some games. You never see Yoshida on Twitter all day. You never see the rest of the PlayStation guys on Twitter all day, doing all kind of stuff. They're too busy doing executive work. I've always said
you may catch them once in a blue moon on there.
The Xbox brand need a PR team that's dedicated for that. The executives need to be executives. They need to be in the conference room, getting deals done, spending money, making changes to be positive, not on Twitter. Some guys like, I'm going to a birthday party in 5 minutes, and then some guy, some Xbox guy shout out, "Why are you not bringing us a game?" It's like, that's embarrassing,
It is.
Here's one thing, though.
Position anyway, sitting there having to deal with 35-year-old men yelling at me because
exactly.
See, I wouldn't do that. I would be a person if like you said, you need a PR person, but you need execs in the boardroom sitting there hashing out shit, putting stuff on the table. All right, what can we do now? What can we acquire? What studios can we acquire? What new IPs can these studios do? Does anybody have an idea for a game?
Scale down.
There's one. Okay, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They got to do this, and like you said, they need PR people to do the PR for them. Let them handle Twitter and all these other people. Then let them come to them in a meeting, either once a week or once a month, or twice a month, and say, "Listen, this is what we're hearing from the fan base. This is what they want. What can we do to make this happen?"
Yeah.
That's what they need.
Well, you know what they could do at E3? Seriously, they can announce, and Porter Rock brought this up a couple of shows ago, and I agree with them 100%. If they announce like an exclusive deal, even if it was timed with Splinter Cell, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I would buy it.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Just buy it. Fuck it. It started with the Xbox. It started with the Xbox. Let it end with Xbox, or let it start again with the Xbox.
That would be an amazing move.
Man, because when Splinter Cell came out, bro, Metal Gear what? Snake who?
Yo, shut the fuck up, man.
Don't get Porter Rock started now.
I'm a Metal Gear fanboy. Before anything else, you better watch your mouth. Fucking Metal Gear's the king.
I have beat every.
Nobody give a fuck about Sam Fisher. Fuck that old bastard.
Listen, I like both games. Say both y'all shut up. I like both games. Both y'all shut up.
Yeah. I mean, I've beaten every Metal Gear that's ever released. I've beaten fucking Peace Walker, fucking all of them.
Yeah.
So, but Splinter Cell brought something way different.
It was realistic.
It was super innovative. But I think as time went on, and Pandora Tomorrow, when they introduced the multiplayer, that shit was crazy.
Yep.
But like I said, Microsoft has a nice relationship with Tom McClancy titles, with getting a kind of a third. They kind of got like a little third party deal with the Division, with the DLC, with the season pass. We get it earlier than PS4, so there's already a connection there. So I do see what according to me is saying. But
the other Splinter Cells were multi-plat though all day. The other Splinter Cells went multi-plat
it was.
After what was it, Double Agent? So do you think that's why I agree, if they can announce something with Splinter Cell, even if it's a 1 year or 6 month deal, I think
fine.
But that'd be huge. I agree with you. There's no disrespect on Porter Rock, but yeah, when I saw Splinter Cell, I'm like, yeah, they got the whole cloak and dagger thing going on. Yeah. That sold me.
Yeah,
that game was big time. Yeah.
You know what sold everybody? When you seen fucking Michael Ironside go on top between two pillars with his legs spread open and hit somebody on the fucking head. Oh, everybody was sold then. That's it.
Yeah.
That game was that was it. But I mean, so I think they just need to lock down. Yeah, like you said, a year exclusivity for a year. That'd be cool. That'd be real cool. Since the Metal Gear's no more, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to tell you why that's not going to happen. Because didn't Phil Spencer just come out and said how he didn't like keeping a game off of another platform?
Yeah.
Shit, you better
Sony, right? Yeah. He just said that. So why? He kind of puts his foot in his mouth and he has to backtrack a lot of times. That's another reason he shouldn't be the main spokesperson.
But he didn't say keep it out for a year, So
well, true, but he did. He made a big deal about keeping, the game. He doesn't really like those deals, and it's like, okay, well, if he doesn't like them, then he's not going to do them.
Well, guess what, Phil? You got to start doing them.
Plus, at the same time, think about it. Microsoft is not in the lead. The lead go to the company who has the largest footprint. So, they would have to come off for billions of dollars to try to run that deal. I think it's almost impossible now for Microsoft to get an exclusive deal. Nobody's going to be willing to take that risk.
Well, Madden, I think, will have some stuff on there. Maybe.
Yeah, that's Madden. We all know day one, Madden is coming to all the platforms. They wouldn't dare.
Yeah. Some companies ain't gonna put some IPs because it's not made to be an exclusive. Some IPs like Madden, 2K, even Red Dead Redemption, Destiny, those games aren't meant to be exclusive to one platform.
Is Madden still selling well every year?
Oh yeah,
it is, man. It's just like FIFA. It's just like FIFA. It's crazy.
Well, I know NBA is like the biggest sports game.
Madden too.
Yeah.
Well, FIFA's the biggest.
Well, FIFA,
I think FIFA is a world.
Yeah, I think it's sold the
FIFA
most.
I think FIFA has been on MPD probably all year long. It doesn't come off.
But in
it doesn't come off.
NBA 2K, I think that's the number one.
Is it?
I
think 2K. Yeah.
2K.
But Madden still sells. Yeah. It's just crazy.
I'm gonna be a little racist right now because I'm obligated to do that.
Man, don't start your shit.
We're still in February,
man. We're still in February.
That's what I'm saying. When you buy your VC pack, it comes with a can of St. Ives. I'm telling you.
Shit.
That's messed up.
Man, Marcus Garvey is rolling over in his grave and shit.
Man, I'm telling you, man, when you live in the hood, you walk in, everybody got a PS4 and 2 games for 6 years.
I know.
GTA and 2K. That's it.
Yeah. That's the truth. That's just
And that's why GTA sells, man. It's just one of those. It's a staple franchise.
It's the only one that they rob for too. That's I've seen that around here.
All right, people. Yeah. All right, man. It's time to go home and stuff like that. So we ran this podcast almost 2 hours, man. But great conversation. Everybody hit that damn like button. It's because this shit ain't free. This podcast ain't free. I'm just kidding. I'm lying.
I want to say shout out to Porter Rock, man. Everybody hit that like button. This dude has came a long way. He went from doing this shit in the back of Vons.
That's it with my PlayStation 4 earpiece.
With his fucking mono headphones.
By myself.
He fucking did it by himself, and now he has a great panel. You know what I mean? He's doing his thing. Shout out to you, man.
So,
pat yourself in the back, man.
We're gonna start off with Titanfall Princess.
Hey everybody! I hope you enjoyed the show. Like they said, hit that like button. Come back every Wednesday, and then come back on Friday because we got some of the same panel members here that are gonna be on my podcast on Friday. Okay, and check out everybody's channels. They have one here, and hit the like button on there too. Subscribe to them. Give them some love.
All right.
I'm
Next
out.
Awesome. Titanfall Princess is gonna fuck me up on Friday for that crap comment, but I deserve it. I completely.
Yeah, you're going to get it.
Yeah, I deserve it. Next, J-Dub, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy J-Dub, Kratos. You can find me on Twitter at JDubCity16. I'm always keeping it funky and always making everybody laugh and keeping the console wars going. So thanks for inviting me again, and I'll see you guys on Friday.
Yes, you
There you
will.
go. There you go. The son of Zeus. All right. And of course, my boy, Jay, aka Everything According to Me. I love his channel. His shit is. He has this fucking fake podcast where he makes fun of podcasts. This shit is fucking hilarious. You got to check it out. Go ahead, Jay. What's up?
Well, Everything According to Me. I do a channel there that, or don't check it out. It's a shit show there. Anyway, I do some videos, skits, comedy things, and I make fun of the gaming community at times, and it's all in fun.
Yo, there shit is. You got to listen to his fucking fake. And what he does his own voice. But it's just hilarious. He has this fucking PlayStation dude that's all fucking weird. It's fucking funny, bro. It's hilarious. I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's fucking funny. And he has the Nintendo one. Oh man, that shit is funny. But check out his channel. My next fucking top flight security of the world, Craig. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for the invite, Puerto Rock Princess. I'm glad you're doing better and feeling better. And Jay and Allday, always a pleasure.
Friday, right?
I have to work Friday, so I will be listening. But my pet rock will try to be there for you guys.
Okay, sounds good.
Got security.
Yeah, I was saying everything, man. Just big fans of everybody here. I do appreciate it, and great conversation, really good people. And let's keep it gaming, guys. Appreciate the invite.
All right, and then finally, the fucking man who hates fucking everything, fucking this petty ass motherfucking you. You ain't starting to say, oh, you need to fucking. Yeah, starting like crap and shit. That shit's infectious. You need a fucking.
I'm sick anyway.
You like fucking. You need to take some fucking medicine before you go on that show and shit. Fucking some Zycam or shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, go ahead, man. My brother, what's going on?
Yeah, man. It's time for me to make my exit, but my snake meat and my raccoon meat are done. I'm coming down the mountaintop. Thanks for watching. You can find me on Twitter, Video Theory, or my channel, Allday Digital on YouTube. And I got to get some more peanut butter from my mousetrap, man. You guys have a good one.
Hey, I got everybody's links up in the description box. Check out their channel. Check out their content. You could catch me tomorrow on the Multiplayer Podcast, where once again I'm going to hear fucking from K-Mega on his goddamn fucking gravity run cells. He's been saying that shit. I don't think he remembers. He says the shit last week. And the week before, I think he forgets. What the fuck is that? Somebody's vacuuming?
Somebody on an airplane? The fuck?
Oh shit. Someone's on their way. I think they're on a plane with Phil Spencer, ready to pick up their suit.
They're going to get a job at Sony.
Oh shit. There you go. So catch me tomorrow on the Multiplayer Podcast on Zaire's channel. And then on Friday, catch me on the POG. You know what I'm saying? Titanfall Princess podcast. The POG cast. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, you forgot to say you love me. You know that? All right, I'll see how it is. But anyway, catch me on her.
No, because you made that crap joke, so I can't say it to you now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe next week. Fair enough. But what the hell?
Wednesday next week? Hey,
oh, yeah.
We doing this next week? Well, yeah, I'm going to make sure I'm going to Amazon. No, yeah, I was, but I called off because fuck that place. But what I'm gonna do is when I come in here next week, I'm gonna have my hazmat suit on, man.
Oh shit! Yeah, fucking your vaccination from fucking. Yo, now anyway, I appreciate everybody stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the show. Again, check out everybody's Twitter. Follow, subscribe to their channel, check out the content. I'll see you guys next week. For those of you, I'm starting a new segment, but it's not going to be weekly, maybe once a month. I call it One-on-One with The Rock, where I try to get the craziest personalities, and we just have one-on-one discussions. It's not a debate. It's not me chewing ass. It's just let's hear the other side of the opinion, whether it's Nintendo, PC, fucking weirdos, whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. You know that sound. Tell Zaire stop buying off my shit. Love you guys. Keep it gaming. Keep it respectful. And I'll catch you all on Twitter for the rest of the week. All right? Later.